Yes, welcome back, people. 12th man is back. The Arsenal roundabout is back. It is a Tuesday evening, and Arsenal are not playing until tomorrow. So we are going to touch on that game. We're also going to look back to the weekend, of course, and we're going to look in the press conference where Mikel Arteta has rattled the fan base, or some of them, a section of the fan base, yet again. Big up to everybody that is here. Make sure you do me a favor, hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, and also make sure you're following every single one of these guys. All of them put out content, and they share content platforms with other content creators that you will know. So please make sure that you do that. Big up to DJB, Kenny, Ken, Igal, Sophie, and Brandon. Lee will be here very shortly. I mean, I think he's watching La Liga, is it? Or is it the Cup? I don't know. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. I don't follow Spanish football like he does. Apparently it's 3-3 though in a good game. So he'll be here later on once that game's done and dusted. Look, there's a lot to talk about and we haven't got long for some of you. So I want to dive straight into it. Sophie, I'm going to start with you. Big up for coming on. Great to have you back. The reason I'm going to start with you is because we haven't heard from you for a while. And I want to start with Mikel Arteta's press conference today because there's been a lot of talk about what he has said. And there's been a lot of difference of opinion. You've got a lot of the section of the fan base that are saying that they agree with everything that he said and that red cards are a massive issue this season and the injuries are one of the reasons as to why we've not been able to compete. And he has kind of stated that if somebody tells you at the start of the season that by this time you'll have played 5 times with a red card, over half an hour in each of them, and you've lost this amount of players, what's the bet that you will find yourself in mid-table and you're out of the Champions League? But that's not the situation. So that tells you resilience and the resources and ambition the team and that every individual has. And that time has probably been one of my proudest moments to work in that sense. The problem is when you're there, you want more and you want more. I'm not going to stop over my dead body that we stop thinking that way and put in everything we possibly can to increase that probability of us winning, being better than the opponent and hitting that performance of those standards consistently, regardless of what happens. Now, there's 3 paragraphs there. The first one is he's looking at the red cards, the amount of players that we've lost, and he believes that Arsenal right now should be mid-table and out of all competitions because of those scenarios. He's also stating that the reason we are not in their way is because we have an unbelievable resilience and we have ambition, and we have he's very proud of what he's achieved so far. And then he says at the end, over his dead body, does he believe we're still out of the title race? There's a lot there, Soph, and I apologize for reading it all out, but I wanted to get it out there first of all so everyone's aware of what I'm talking about. What do you make of those comments, mate?
There's a lot to unpack there. He sounds a little bit like Mourinho when he said finishing second with this Manchester United team is one of my greatest achievements in my career. And when you look at Manchester United now, Mourinho wasn't wrong. But some of the things, let's unpack it piece by piece, right? The red cards, we have a disciplinary issue. We've had one since Mikel's taken over. We've also been repeat offenders and we haven't done ourselves any favours. So, for example, the Declan Rice, it was Wolves, right? It feels like 2 years ago already, the red card. Then Trossard, literally the following week, kicks the ball away. That has to be something that is taken care of in-house during training that week. Be careful of these things. Don't let you get caught up in the moment. The VAR decisions and some of the refereeing decisions, I think we'll all agree, some of them were bogus. But this season, I think pretty much every single team, maybe barring 4 or 5, haven't been affected by bogus VAR decisions. It's another new part of the game. You can't make excuses. You have to adapt. Things are going to go against us. Unfortunately, for us, we're looked at and refereed at a little bit differently. I truly think that is the case. However, you still have to play the game. And in some of those games, we still had opportunities to win the game. And I feel like, Dan, I started off not really believing or being able to see the pathway with Mikel Arteta. And then for me, it was undeniable seeing the change in the effect in the club that he's had, from a culture change to player DNA and profile, connecting the fans, bringing us closer together, making us fall in love with players again. You know, we went from Kolasinac and Babastadopoulos and Mustafi to Saliba and Gabriel and Benjamin White, and the evolution was evident and there to see. So everybody was saying we can only judge him when he has his complete team together, and a team becomes an image of the manager. Well, he talks about emotion a lot. I think sometimes he's shown too much emotion on the sideline, which spills over into a team, especially a younger team, and that affects how players handle things in big moments. When you're talking about those types of implications in the game, you also have to be prepared for them, right? So he can say we should be mid-table. I find that it's like making an excuse. Like, you know, when a parent says, you should have got an A, but it's okay to get a B. Enabling. And I feel like sometimes we mollycoddle ourselves too much and we enable ourselves too much as a club, as a fan base, our players. Like today, I responded to someone on Twitter when they were talking about Calafiori's young. He's only 22. He's 22. He's a grown man. There are 18-year-olds and 17-year-olds in our team performing and acting like men and carrying this team on their shoulders right now. So I feel like some of that is excuses at the same time. What's he going to say? Over my dead body? Of course, if he'd have come out defeatist, everyone would call him a bottler, a loser. But I think there's a fine balance in how he communicated kind of what he wanted to say, and maybe not pointing the finger at some of the decisions that haven't gone our way. Why do I kind of give him a little bit of a yellow card on that? Preparedness. In football, you have to be prepared. And the truth is, if you really wanted to win the title and you really wanted to win the league, we would have invested in the summer and we would have invested in January. I'm somebody that's tried to be positive all season. You've come on my show, Dan. You've seen the shows. I've been giving the team the benefit of the doubt, Mikel the benefit of the doubt, with all of these obstacles that we've had to overcome. But those obstacles would have been easier to overcome if we were better prepared. And it seems to me we're a little bit cut and paste. We're doing the same thing over and over again. The truth is, we haven't played well all season. I can think of maybe 3 games where I've been, wow, the 5-1 against Manchester City, the beating of West Ham away from home, the Liverpool 2-2, we should have won that, but I thought that we played really well in that game. The Champions League game away in Portugal. Those games, I think we excelled and we played well. But the truth of it is we haven't played well this season. And we lost Bukayo Saka in December. We lost Kai Havertz after Dubai. We lost Martinelli prior to that. You've had opportunities to fix the problems, not only during the season, but before the season started too. Am I still there? Sorry, there's yeah. Something really weird happened just to my computer. So we've kind of had the opportunities to fix the problems, and unfortunately we haven't done that. Now, you can't complain about the last 2 years. He talks about the journey a lot, but at some point the journey has to lead to a destination. And it's all well and good continually talking about the journey. But even when you're on a journey in life as a person, whether it's in your work, whether with your family, you have to reach the final destination. There has to be an end goal. And this season, right now, I'm a little bit more critical because I feel like we've had the opportunities to fix these problems and we haven't done so. And that's on ownership, the board, Mikel. And I feel for the players because it feels like they've been, ground to the ground.
Sophie, I would just say one thing. Would you say it's a disciplinary issue, or would you say it's been refereeing? Referees have been refereeing us differently, because, for example, at the beginning of the season, there was a mandate to whatever they were trying to do to stop time wasting, and Arsenal were one of the teams that were harshly punished twice for a similar situation. Now, you could say maybe because we did it twice, we shouldn't have done that, or Trossard should have done better, but I'm looking at those two yellow cards offenses that they gave us the second yellow for with Declan Rice and Trossard, and saying those were extremely harsh, unprecedented. You don't see those ever again. Then you go to the Miles Lewis-Skelly red card, which was overturned. Luckily, we won that game. That was another incorrect decision. And then you go to the Saliba red card. you could as much as everyone can argue if it's a red or if it isn't a red, we've seen that same situation be simulated within the same weekend with Tosin at Chelsea, not given. Similar situation, even worse, more egregious, higher up the pitch with Tottenham and Van de Ven, and still not given. So there's inconsistencies in refereeing, and I can say 5 out of the 5 red cards that we've had this season, 4 of them I believe are unjust.
Okay, so what makes you think we would win those games anyway? There's a juxtaposition to all of that, right? We're assuming that we would win those games. Like, I think it's a little bit arrogant of us as fans to just assume that because a decision goes our way, it doesn't go our way, we're going to win that game. What evidence do we have this season to show that we're capable of overcoming those hurdles and boundaries? We have not proven that this season. Last season, I would argue maybe, you know what, you may have a point. I think that team playing that way with those players, with everyone fit, maybe. But this season, we haven't shown that we can overcome. When the spotlight is on us, Igel, we have still got mental impotence. There is something about Arsenal that they cannot overcome being in the spotlight. And, you know, we get criticized a lot, but we also load the gun with the ammo for people to fire it at us because we continually prove that when the spotlight is on us, we can't do it. You're losing 2-0 in a League Cup game to Newcastle, and you have to go away and fight to get to Wembley. That was really one of the most pathetic performances. And I'm not like a super harsh critic, but I just call it as I see it. You're playing at home against West Ham. Liverpool have given you a lifeline. Forget VAR, forget Michael Oliver. Play the game and play to win. And nobody had any passion, any type of guile in that match to prove that they could do that. So I understand what you're saying, and I totally respect that we've been screwed. But at the same time, what have we done as a team to illustrate that we can win those games?
I think momentum's a real thing, and in those games, the Brighton game at home, we had all the momentum. We were the one that just scored. I think we were 1-0 up at the time when Declan Rice got sent off. The Man City game, we had the momentum. I think it was 2-1 at the time. And we just got back into the game. We got the lead in that game. In the Bournemouth game, let's be honest, it was extremely early in the game. Going down to 10 men in that position does change everything. And even with 10 men, Sophie, I agree with you. We should have probably scored and done something more in that game. And then if we go to the most recent red cards, I think the Miles Lewis-Skelly one versus West Ham, fully deserved. You can't complain about. I can't complain about that one. And in certain things with the mentality of the players, I personally think the mentality of the players comes from the confidence they have on what's on the pitch, and they have confidence in their defense. With us having
our defense. Sorry, I just want to say our defense was a hot mess against West Ham. Calafiori was put on skates by Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who is not that great. Okay, and our 2 centre backs, Big Gabby has been one of our saviors this season. Saliba's dropped off a little bit. We've got to talk about it honestly. They were caught. Declan Rice looked like he was running after I don't know what. And Jared Bowen scores from a header right in the center of the 6-yard box. Everything is focused on the striking situation and how we're not scoring goals this season and how we've not played well up front. But the truth is our defense has regressed a little this season too. We found ourselves caught. And, we've got an 18-year-old who's now a first choice left back. We invest all this money in Calafiori, and he can be dynamic going forward. But people have criticized Zinchenko, for not being a good defender. And Calafiori is doing similar things. So it's the shiny new toy that people want to defend. But I just feel like over the last few weeks, you can't defend the indefensible.
And so
I'll just say quickly, Igel, just 1 second.
Let me just finish off on this last point.
Go on.
My last thing. I'm not sitting here and saying the defense has regressed, because statistically, that's one category where we've stayed par over the last 3 years. The area where we've regressed is the attack. Year after year, the attack has gotten slightly worse or less focused on the attack. So I do think it's a trickle-down effect. Once your attack is no longer controlling the games, your defense is going to be more susceptible to chances. And if you don't have confidence in your attack winning you the games, we are so susceptible to the counter and and it's going to be, you're going to see
Well, our
more.
midfield has protected the defense a lot too, Igal, and the midfield hasn't been performing well either. Let's be honest, we can't keep. We're playing a possession-based game that results in very little this season.
That's true. We're the second slowest in the league.
Let me just come in. First of all, people in the chat, please keep it respectful. I appreciate you don't agree with
man. I'm
everybody
used to
on
it.
this panel.
Public enemy.
No, I know, Miguel, it's not right though, man. People shouldn't be calling you names because you've got a different opinion to us, man. We're all friends of everybody on this panel. So please, if you say I disagree with Miguel, just say I disagree with Miguel. He's a big boy. You get on with it. You don't need to call him all the names under the sun, man. It's crazy. Anyway, look, the 5 red cards. The Lewis Skelly one at the weekend, agree with you, Miguel. The other Lewis Skelly one, we actually won the game against Wolves. The Saliba one against Bournemouth, personally, way too early in the game, but we were an absolute shambles in the whole of that game before and after the red card. The Manchester City one I'm going to give you because I thought that game was ruined by the red card. I thought that was a real cracking game, if I'm honest, and would have been a cracking game. But the Brighton one, the reason I'm going to disagree that completely ruined the game is because Kai Havertz should be scoring that at the end to win the game 2-1, and he fluffed his lines. So we still had chances with 10 men against Brighton. We should have beaten them. So that one I disagree with. But look, I don't really understand the whole red card thing. That is, for me, really arrogant from Mikel Arteta to say, look, if it weren't for me, we'd be mid-table and out the Champions League. So give me some praise, and I'm proud. It's my proudest moment and achievement. I'm like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? So, Brandon, what do you think, bro?
Guy's a genius, Dan. He's an absolute genius. He is. He's got this fan base, or the mutant side of the fan base, as Lee Gunner would call it, on strings, mate. Yeah, on strings. Listen to some of the things that he said. Apparently, Arsenal are the only team in world football, by the way, that can't win a game with 10 men now. You know, talk about the red cards. That's fair enough. You know, and Agel's right to a degree, and Sophie as well, that I think we can all say that Arsenal have been refereed differently this season. You know, there have been certain decisions that have gone against us that haven't gone against other teams, right? However, in the Brighton game, Declan Rice gets sent off. We're winning the game, you know? So see it out. Do you know what I mean? This is where the manager comes into play. The manager isn't there just to pick the team and tell them to go out there and play. The manager's there to win you points as well. I've said this on a number of occasions. You know, the manager, yeah, for as poor as we was at Bournemouth, when Saliba got sent off and we didn't even look like winning that game with 11 men, right? We were still 0-0. The manager's substitutions cost us the game. He decided to take off Raheem Sterling, who at the time in that game was our most threatening player. He decided to bring on Kivior, who also gave away the ball for one of the goals, which ended up losing us the game. The only one that I can really sort of sit there and say, okay, he has a point and I feel sorry for him, is the Man City one. Because we're winning the game. Trossard kicks the ball away. It's a stupid thing for Trossard to do after seeing the week before that Declan Rice had got sent off for the same thing. You know, it's a brain-dead, stupid thing for Trossard to do. And we was unfortunate not to come away with all 3 points because we, in that second half, for 45 minutes with 10 men, we defended valiantly against Man City. You know, that's the one that I can point to and say we're unfortunate. You know, the Lewis Skelly red card got overturned. Again, we're unfortunate we actually won that game. But the excuses with red cards, like, we could still win games with 10 men, you know. Like, let's not make that an excuse. And also, right, you said it perfectly, Dan. The arrogance, the pure arrogance from this guy. This guy walks around like his shit don't stink. He's talking about injuries. Yeah? Forgetting the fact that he has contributed towards these players getting injured.
Great point.
Yeah. He played Ben White this season knowing that he needed a knee surgery. You know, he's played Bukayo Saka consistently week in, week out, even bringing him on in games that we were winning, like 3-0 against Preston, by the way. And Arsenal fans, every Arsenal fan, has been calling for the last 5 years since the manager has been here for us to get somebody who could be sufficient cover for Bukayo Saka because he can't play 50 to 60 games a season year in, year out, without getting injured. We could all see it was coming. You know, he's had the money to go out there and do it. He's been given the funds over the 5 years. He hasn't done it. Just like the whole Kai Havertz situation. You know, Kai Havertz, whether you rate him or whether you don't, he's been our striker since last season. Yeah, he had a decent finish towards the back end of last season. Everybody went on to think that he could score 20 goals this season. It hadn't worked out, right? But he started the season as our striker again. But who have we got to come in and replace him? Who have we got to come in and give this guy a break? The reason why he's done a hamstring is because he's played pretty much every minute of every game, and we've got nobody else to come in and cover for him. You know, you had, as Sophie pointed out, you've had 2 transfer windows. The summer transfer window, which was a disgrace, and the January transfer window to fix what you didn't do in the summer, and you chose not to do that. Now, I'm not blaming the manager solely on that, because that, of course, has to do with the board. The board have to hold accountability. The owners have to hold accountability as well. But really and truly, and I said this on Sophie's show last night, the Highbury squad, big up, make sure you go and subscribe, yeah? The manager should be doing better with the tools that he has at his disposal. He should be. Really and truly, when you look in that game at the weekend, right, against West Ham, we had our first choice goalkeeper. We had our first choice defence. We had our first choice midfield. The only positions that wasn't our first choice was our front 3. Now, Trossard and Martinelli have always rotated. So there's not much of a difference there. They've always rotated between them. So really and truly, the only 2 players that we've been missing is Saka and Havertz. So I'll ask this question once again, and I've said this before.
That's
After
60%
5
of their
years,
goal contributions, brother.
after 5 years, with all the money spent, are you now telling me that with a 22-man squad, 2 players is all it takes for everything to fall apart, and Arsenal are suddenly losing games
It's not
at
2 players,
home,
though.
at home to 16th place West Ham? Is that good enough? So
Brandon,
hang on, Miguel.
it's 4
Whilst he
players.
can sit, hang on, whilst he can sit there in his press conference and claim to be the almighty, and Arsenal would be mid-table if it wasn't for the job that we're doing right now and the resilience that the players showed. Did they show any resilience at the weekend? Did they ever show any resilience and any fight when it's actually meaningful, like in meaningful points of the season? No.
Yeah.
And again, as I said, I won't solely blame the manager, because the players also have to hold accountability for this. But every single time it comes to crunch time, both sets, the set of players and the manager, fail to deliver.
Brendan, I
Fair
disagree
play.
with you. I disagree with you. Simply put, for you to disregard the fact that Arsenal's 4 best attacking players are all injured, arguably they're 4 best. You could disagree and say Trossard's
but
better than majority of them.
Miguel,
Fair enough.
do you
But
know?
when
Do you know?
let me finish. When you say only Saka and Kai Havertz are out, well, you're also acknowledging that Saka and Kai Havertz are the guys who get majority of the goal contributions, who are at the end of majority of the chances that we create, is also a little bit disingenuous. That's almost like me saying, where would Liverpool be without Mo Salah and Cody Gakpo? We all know they would not be anywhere near the Premier League title if Mo Salah and Cody Gakpo were
Listen,
not playing.
of course. I totally.
Then
They
why
still
doesn't
have Diaz and
No, but
Jota, and
Sophie?
no,
But
but
they're
Miguel,
not as
Miguel,
good, and they're not going to win you as many games as
Miguel.
no. But what I'm saying is their backups. That's what we haven't done, right?
Even with the
their
backups, though.
backups are not better than ours.
No,
Yeah, but
they are not.
even
So
Hey,
even
Gal,
hang on,
stop
even
this, bro.
if you
You know
actually
they
look
are.
at it, if you actually look at it, and you look at the outlier, which is Mo Salah, and you take out Bukayo Saka, and you go and then you look at Cody Gakpo, and you take out Kai Havertz, the rest of it is pretty much the same.
So is
but
Sterling and
no.
Jesus? Is Sterling and
Hang on.
Jesus not better? Sterling and Jesus better than Diaz and Jota?
This is
Put
where I do
Sterling
disagree.
and Chiesa 1 for 1. Okay.
This is
Then
where
you
I
go
do
to
disagree,
then
right?
you go then you can go Jota, Trossard. right? Then you can go Nunes and Jesus. My opinion is that outside of Mo Salah, which is the extreme outlier, let's be 100% honest. Liverpool's attack is not that much superior to ours. What they have is they have an outlier in Mo Salah, who's playing at one of the best in the world caliber level, and the rest of the team is quite average. That's why they want to get rid of.
Why can't we get firing then, and Liverpool can?
But
Again,
that argument is
some-
for last season. Last season, you could say that. This season, they've been far superior to us
There
up
are
front.
some points that I agree with you, Agal, right? There are some points. Agal,
himself has been hit or miss.
There are some points
Darwin's
that I
been hit or
agree with
miss.
you on.
Jota's been injured. Chiesa's useless. What attack are you guys watching? It's Mo Salah's carrying them.
Agal, there are some points that I agree with you on, right? Yeah, when you say that Havertz and Saka are the two attacking players that are on the end of most of our, chances that we create, I agree with that. However, Trossard and Martinelli always rotate. We can agree on that, right? So there's not much difference there on that left-hand side. Yeah, Ethan Nwaneri has came in and he scored 7 goals in all competitions for Arsenal, 3 goals in the Premier League. He's contributed with assists as well. Okay, it's not at the rate that Saka was doing it for Arsenal, but I don't think there's any player out there at this current moment in time that wouldn't cost, millions and millions and millions of pounds that could do it at the rate that Saka's doing it. What I'm trying to get to is, when you actually look at them attacking options, they're not as bad as what you think. It's just, to me, the manager has to do something different to get the best out of the players he has at his disposal. We can't continue to play the same way without the players available. When we've got Saka, when we've got Havertz, it's okay to play that way. Although we have been very poor this season, but it's okay to play that way. Adapt. You have to adapt. If you're a top manager, you have to adapt. Yeah. And also, just the last point as well, Dan, because I know you're going to want to move on to somebody else. When he sits there and says, "Over my dead body, are we giving up?" Yeah. What am I supposed to sit there and be grateful for that? Yeah. You're getting paid £15 million a year. This entire squad, apart from the 3 academy players and Neto, yeah, is all on £100,000 a week plus. I expect you to not give up, regardless of what the circumstances are. You play for Arsenal Football Club. You're the manager of Arsenal Football Club. Of course you're not allowed to give up, even if the fans have. Yeah, you're supposed to be professionals.
If he would have really sat there and said, "Over my dead body," I wish he would have said, "Over my dead body" in the January transfer window. Over my dead body, are we not doing anything in this January transfer window? Because he is ultimately to blame as much as the others as well, because there is no doubting that he has not got a powerful voice at that football club, man. So listen, let me throw a couple of super chats in, and then we'll come to DJ and Kenny quickly. Samuel is giving it to Gal. I'm not going to read them all out, but it says, "Gal, are you still backing this manager?" He calls a different name. Samuel says, "Gal, you are the head PR at Arteta FC." James says, "Would you lot take a league title with a huge January signing if it sets you back 5 years? No Europe, no cups, mid-table. Would you mortgage the future?" Just give me a league title. I don't care. Just give me a bloody league title. It's taken me 21 years, man. If it sets us back, because when I get another manager, might set us back. It set us back when we got Arteta. It set us back when we got Emery. It set us back when we stuck with Wenger for too long. Sometimes you've got to take a risk and roll the dice, man. That's what you've got to do.
Mortgage the future for one league title.
Say again?
Would everyone here mortgage the future for one league title?
I'm assuming that mortgage includes Saka, Lewis Skelly, or Nwaneri, right? My answer would be no.
Thank you.
Because I think they'll win. I mean, again,
you're guaranteed a title. I'm taking the guaranteed title, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Like you're not guaranteed trophies in this
or just
game,
future.
Right?
One
And
day we might win it
like,
again before I die. But I'm going to give you one next
It's
year.
not like other teams are just going to sit still and allow Arsenal to go in the next 5 years and win and dominate everything. Like Man City will be back.
1 second, but the hypothetical
Liverpool will be back.
1 second.
Maybe if you said Champions League, the answer would be different because we've never won that. And that's the baton everyone slaps us over the head with.
Facts.
We're all going to have a difference of opinions on that, I think, but it's a good question, actually, James. The real frauds are season ticket holders that continue to attend the home games and support this mediocrity. You are the problem. Do you know what? The reason I disagree with that, kind of right. The reason I disagree with that, as much as I believe that if you're not happy, you should make a stand about it, I don't think you should stop going to games. The reason I say that is because unless we're going to do 60,000 of us not going to games, it's not going to change anything at all. The Cronkies are not going to get together and go, Dad, yes, Josh, DJB, Kenny and Dan Potts aren't coming to the games now. We better sell the club. They're not going to do that, right? They are not going to do that. They are going to crack on and go, oh, well, we've got 100,000 people on the waiting list. So who's the next three in line? They'll take it. So it's not going to work, but I appreciate what you're trying to say. Ngoni says, this season, the excuse is red cards and injuries. What's the excuse for the previous 2 seasons where our squad was generally fully fit, Igal? I think you've
the first season, we can all admit, I don't think we were even ready for the title race, and Saliba got injured to end the season, which negatively impacted us massively. Second season, I'll put it down to just Man City were better than us in the margins, and you can put it down to mentality there, Sophie, because we had it in our hand. Liverpool just lost. We had to go beat Aston Villa again, and these teams that play mid blocks, we're unable to break them down in these close games, and that's where we lose. So
it makes a good point here, quickly ago as well. When Salah was poor last season, did we capitalise? It's a good point. I mean, he wasn't poor, but if
Salah
dropped last season, we were hoping they'd crumble again.
Then Salah this season has won Liverpool 33 points. Salah this season is about to surpass Messi's record of in a single season getting the most games with a goal and an assist. He's one more game away from getting a goal and assist, surpassing Messi's 11.
He got more than 20 goals last season too, though, right? I mean, the argument about Liverpool.
So he's on pace right now to break the assist record.
I agree. He's the best player in the world right now. There's no denying that. He's been unbelievable
every single season.
He's been sensational. But
he has been unbelievable.
Still got to manage him now, haven't you?
He plays every game. One second, there's no managing Mo Salah. He's played every single game.
I'll tell you now, Rigal, if Salah was at Arsenal, this manager would not know how to manage him because Salah's ego would be bigger than Arteta's.
That's not true. Salah just plays every game.
It is true.
Plays every game.
That's why Aubameyang left Rigal.
Aubameyang did not leave because of that. There were other issues.
Aubameyang was pushed out because he did not fit his criteria.
No,
he signed certain players that fit his criteria. If Salah was at Arsenal, he would not be able to manage him.
Salah is the utmost professional.
There's the facts there.
Aubameyang was doing things that were unprofessional.
No, I respect your opinion.
Showing up late to Nottingham Derby.
If you go on about Salah and you keep worrying about Liverpool, the facts of the matter is this manager has taken another press conference. He has gone into the world of spin again to get certain fan base on his side to blame everything else apart from his own managerial nous. He goes on about this is a manager, by the way, that blamed the football. Remember,
he didn't. He was.
This is a manager. Whoa! This is a manager. Now you've had a long say, Gal, and I respect you 100%, and I respect all the fans' opinions 100%. But let's get it right now. This is a manager that has blamed a football for losing a game. This is a manager that goes into a press conference and he spins everything on its head away from his inability to manage during game time on the field of play. Right? We can go in about the signings. We can go about what players we've got. But in-game management, when it comes to the nitty-gritty, this manager fouls on numerous occasions. A poor Man United team in an FA Cup. Fouled. Crap. Newcastle at home that was on a bad run. Not really firing on all cylinders up until then. Crap. Last season, I can go back seasons when we had to finish in the top 4 and we went to St James's Park. Fouled. Went to the Tottenham Stadium. Fouled. Yeah? Again, trying to close the gap on Liverpool against a poor West Ham team. All their fans saying we're going to get hammered, we're going to get done. I'll be happy if we come out of there losing 3 or 4-0. Right? Crap. Bottled it, lost it, didn't have a clue what to do. Sending on left backs and defenders to try and get a goal. Now, this is a manager that's blaming red cards and injuries. All teams, and it's in a manager's job description, there is no manager that goes into any season naive enough to think that they're not going to get any injuries that's going to have a major impact on a team throughout a season. That is the facts of life of football. You cannot go through a whole season without losing key players or key certain players at certain points of the season. And it's how you manage that situation. And this manager hasn't got it to manage that situation. He knew he was going to lose Saka. As I said, I'm not going into transfers. We all know why the transfers were not being made. That's another story. They wasn't made. We haven't got them. We haven't capitalised on. We haven't strengthened our team. So therefore, you manage the team you have. And he's 11 points behind going into February. And I hear progression. I hear this word progression. Last season, we took it down to the last game. This season, the league title is over pretty much by the end of February. That is not progression. So these, honestly, we can spin it as much as we like. Now he's going on about red cards. And I picked you up on about what you said about the refereeing and some decisions. You over a course of a season, you get decisions that go for you, you get decisions that go against you. But by the end of the season, it all swings and roundabouts. Everything evens itself out over the course of the season. There's been decisions this season where I think, blimey, how have we got away with that? Yeah? Oh, that should have been a penalty. And it went for us. So I'm not looking at referees and getting into about, oh, referees got vendettas and this, that and the other. No, I don't want to hear it. I want to hear this manager start taking accountability for some of his wrongdoings. I want to hear this manager and hold his hands up and say, I've got that wrong. I've got that wrong. I should have done this and I should have done that. And now he's saying, over my dead body, are we giving up on the title? That's because, as he said, he's been paid to do a job. He ain't going to come out and say anything different. He's got to say that. There's so many games left to play for. But realistically, he's been around the block. He's played football at a high enough level. He's played football with top managers and top players. He knows the coup. He knows it's done. He ain't stupid. He knows it's finished. But he ain't going to come out and say that. But he knows it's done. It's done. It's dusted. Our season is over. It's finished. And you have to realise, once again, we was told, trust the process. We trust the process. He came in, he gave everyone a lift. It was just after the COVID and we had all the lot, and he'd come in and he's give everyone a lift and he's got the fans going and everything this and wear this shirt and singing and everyone's important and he's got everyone on board. That's lovely. That's great. But the party time and the honeymoon period is over now. It's time to get trophies because Newcastle's going to strengthen. Chelsea's going to keep strengthening. Man United's going to get their act together. Everton's going to sort themselves out. And Liverpool are going to get better and it's going to go on and we're going to be found left behind. And we're on a rebuild again and we're going to be on another. You're shaking. Show me. Okay.
Only reason why I'm shaking my head.
Show me the evidence then. Show me the evidence where you think and on your heart we are going to win a Premiership. A Premiership title and a Champions League. You show me the evidence of where you think that this manager is good enough, considering he's had no previous experience.
That's a good question, Igal, to be fair.
No, but I just want to make it clear. There's 3 things that I have to say. One, when you spoke about the football, he was asked a question about the football. He didn't out of nowhere say, you know what? Well, the football's different, so that's why we lost. He never said that. He was asked about the football and does it impact the game having a different football? And then he then went on to say, well, although I'm saying this, both teams play with the same ball. So I don't think he was using it as an excuse
I
on
mean,
why we lost.
You got other. You got
I
other.
think the
fans-
media ran. I think the
mocking him,
I,
what he's just
you know what it
said,
is. Sometimes media runs with a story to the point where people believe it's actual truth.
Forget the football then. Forget the football.
No,
Move on.
I just need to address that. Number two, taking accountability. I don't think Arteta is trying to avoid accountability. He was just simply trying to make a statement. And I think that's the first time where he made a statement this season about referees or injuries and pointing it out as a situation
what he's
where
saying
you look at Manchester City, you look at Tottenham, you look at some of the other teams in the league who were expected to do better, but their season went down the drain due to injuries and other circumstances. Arsenal, relative to Manchester City and other teams, to be fair, I think we did quite well to be in the title race up until this point with the level of key players out. Because to start the season, all of us said if Saka gets injured, if Odegaard gets injured, forget about the title race. Those guys got injured, and we're still in a title race to a certain level. So you gotta give.
This is
You gotta admit he's not wrong.
What he's turning around and saying now, then, he's saying that he's the only manager that can, with the red cards and the injuries, he's the only manager that can keep putting on a show and being close to winning the title. No other manager can do it. And the way he's come out with that, he's so arrogant that he's saying, I'm the only man that can do that. If there'd have been any other manager at Arsenal with these injuries and red cards, we would have been finished. We'd be 6th, 7th, or 8th. Right?
Let me just, DJ, because Kenny Ken's been the most patient man ever on a podcast. He hasn't said a word yet, so I want to bring him in. Big up to you, man. How you've not said a word is just incredible, Kenny. You're a legend,
too polite.
Mate. You're a gentleman, mate. You're a gentleman. Please have your say, man. Please have your say, and then I want to quickly ask, because I know some of you don't have long, so I want to quickly ask a question after Kenny goes. So go on, bro. What do you want to say?
Well, first and foremost, the press conference is what he should be. What he's going to say. He's going to try and big up the fan base, give the fan base some hope, which is his job. Where he needs to give us some hope. There's thousands of fans travelling to Nottingham tomorrow. They need to have some hope that we're still competing. If not, if he says anything different, we might as well stay home. So he's saying what he has to say. He's going to use excuses, but he's not a fool. He knows where things are. He would have looked at the money we spent in 2023, and he would have been looking at the board and himself, said, right, we're definitely going for this league. He would have even looked at January when we try to get Mudryk and try to get Casado and thinking, right, we're in the title race, we're leading it, but we're trying to cement it to make sure that we win the title race. Now, he's going to look at the transfer activity in 2024, and he would compare it from what we've seen, this summer just gone to the previous summer and said, no, we're not equipped to challenge this. He'll look at the performance as well. Whether people like it or not, the only player that's turned up this season is Saka. Let's stop fooling ourselves. Forget injuries. Martinelli has not been good this season. We've had debates, which all of us have attended, and we've had rows privately between ourselves with obviously Mr. Igal. Me and you row all the time off camera as well about Martinelli. And we know that his performances hasn't been a scratch. We now got an issue with Odegaard. He's not performed as well this season. That's something that we've got to take in consideration. My beef with Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. This season, they've been what I call let's just say they've been it's a tactical disruption. I think that their bias this season has been manager's indulgence. Declan Rice doesn't know whether he's a number 6 or a number 8. That's just a fact. He's not a good number 6 to the extent that Partey's still the best number 6 of the club. So at number 8, he hasn't been performing. That's something we need to take in consideration. That's why we haven't changed this season. If you look at the points total, let's be honest, we've never been in the title race. Never have been. Not from day one. Let's be honest. We've never, and it was pretty obvious early in this season that we were never going to be part of one because the performance was so bad and Liverpool was so consistent. In fact, if you want to pinpoint when the title was done, Sophie's right. 98th minute at the Etihad Stadium. That's when I thought, no, it's not happening. And then since then, I haven't been proven wrong. The performance has been so bad. What we've had that is probably be the ice in the cake is the disciplinary situation, the sending offs. We had the the VAR decisions that have gone our way and haven't gone our way. But at the end of the day, even before these injuries, before these bad decisions, hand on heart, please admit to ourselves, we haven't been at it this season. We haven't looked like title challengers. We haven't deserved to be in the title race. The Champions League, we dropped the ball. We knew that there was going to be, because of the amount of games, the fact that it's a league and the intensity of games, we knew the squad was short. The manager himself needs to take the blame because he hasn't rotated properly. Again, Gal, you've been on shows with me where I've said the same thing. You've agreed with me that we need to rotate. We need to make sure we keep players fresh. He's never done that. You know why? He's married to his system. And when you're married to your system, that means only certain personnel can play that system. And if that's, regardless of whether that personnel is in the red zone or he's not playing well, he plays anyway. That has been his greatest flaw, that wretched system of his and his insistence that only certain players can play that system. Let's not forget, we haven't had impact injuries like broken legs or broken limbs. We've had muscle injuries. That's overexertion. Whether we like it or not, if you pull a hamstring or tear, that's a muscle injury, isn't it? It's not an impact injury with some pork chops gone in with 2 feet on your shin, has he? Or gone on your knee, like Maguire on Danny Thomas all those years ago. It is muscle injuries when no one's near you. Martinelli pulled up as though he was shot because he is being overplayed. And that's the thing. The manager, in terms of the way his system, also the squad acquisition, where basically with this squad we got now, I promise you, we go next season with this same squad, you're not getting top 4. I promise you won't.
Well, we need to build on that. Yeah, we've got to build
5
on
or
that.
6 players to improve. You don't get the 5 or 6 players. Let's just forget about talking about challenge for league and just think, you know what, we'll compete with maybe Spurs and Newcastle for the top 4. It's that serious.
It absolutely is. And look, before I bring Igal and Liam, because obviously most people have got to go around 11, so I want to try and get Sophie in quick before she jumps off, because I know that she's got to go around this time as well. Sophie, let me just quickly ask you, and if I can ask you without being rude to the panel, to keep it brief, because we've been going nearly an hour and I've hardly asked any questions. But I wanted to ask you your position on the ownership and the board right now after this transfer window, because I know you and I were kind of disagreeing about the ownership and the ambition of the ownership. I know that you believe that the owners want to win, and you truly believe that. And I think the board as well, with not the replacement of Edu. I'd really like to get your opinion briefly on that and what you think we're going with that, because I'm seriously worried, so if I can't lie.
I can see why some fans are worried. And, right or wrong, I get killed a lot when I defend the owners. And I'm of the volition that the owners do not pick the players to buy in the transfer market. The owners do not pick the team week in, week out. And the owners do not pick the tactics. And correct me if I'm wrong, but last season, when we lost the title by 2 points, I didn't hear many people complaining about the owners. What I did hear was the lauding of Mikel Arteta and the team for almost winning the title. Now, the season prior, I don't think anyone was expecting us to do that. It was improbable. But it's not like the owners haven't given him money to spend. And I hear a lot like he spent almost 800 million. Well, someone has to sanction that money to spend. And I know that they've made mistakes. I'm not calling them perfect. It was clear that they didn't want to fully invest in the team until they took it over in 2018. And when I compare kind of their business prowess in terms of the US teams, nobody really wants to hear that. But the truth is that they kept patience with a lot of those teams and ended up winning titles. They even won the lacrosse title in the US. It doesn't mean anything to football fans, right? You have to show the investment in Arsenal, right? I really think that maybe there's a twist to the tail here. Is there a reason why we didn't spend money in January? Are they thinking that maybe they've given Mikel too much? And that, I'm not saying they don't trust him, but he wanted to buy Ollie Watkins, a player he didn't want 2 years ago. Mikel's obsessed with certain players. It has to be perfect. And we're transfer snobs. We could have easily gone in and maybe got Evan Ferguson to be a backup, as a loan, but we wouldn't do that. We're above that. And I think that we need to kind of look at it in a fair sense. And when everything's going great at Arsenal, Mikel's the Don and it's all him. When things are going wrong at Arsenal, it's the owners. Well, what about the incompetence of the people in the middle, who, by the way, they're responsible for, right? They've hired them in these positions. But maybe also there's a reason why Edu left. Maybe Edu saw some of this coming. There's two sides to every story, and then there's the truth. And I think maybe we'll find out about that in a book in 2-3 years' time. But the truth is, everyone's culpable. And on this, this season, everyone is culpable. The owners are, the middle management is, and Mikel is. But he chose Mikel Merino. He chose Calafiori. He chose these players. The Cronkies didn't. So maybe sometimes the pointing of the finger is a little bit misguided, albeit, yes, they've made mistakes too.
Well articulated as ever, Soph, and big up to you. I appreciate it. Look, I know you've got to shoot, mate, but thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it, Soph. And make sure you're following the Hybrid Squad, people. Make sure you're following Sophie and showing some love over there. There's over 2.5k in here, so please make sure you go over and subscribe to Hybrid Squad as well, and make sure you hit like and subscribe and follow everyone. Sophie, you're a ledge. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that, Dan. Boys, good to see you. It was fun hanging out for an hour. And good luck with the rest of the show. Enjoy. And who won, Barcelona or Atletico Madrid?
4-4 draw.
4-4.
Wow, what a game. I was enjoying that first half. All right, enjoy, guys. Take care. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Look, Egal, I know you don't have long, so I'm literally going to play this because I need you to explain this, and then you can go.
Don't go anywhere. He ain't going nowhere. I've only just got here. He ain't going nowhere. But that's up to
This is February 21st, 2025. I'm telling you right now, everyone is scared. We're going to dominate England soon. Genuinely. I know people think this is delusional.
I had to stop myself spitting my water out. What?
Liverpool on decline. This is their final season at this level. Mo Salah's going to be leaving. Trent's going to be leaving. Van Dijk, we don't know if he's even going to stay. Man City have to rebuild their whole team pretty much. Their defense, their midfield, their attack is the only thing that they have sorted. Arsenal are going to dominate. I'm telling you. And when people say to me, oh, Igal, why are you so confident? Because I see the vision. I see where we can be and where we can go. We have the defense. We have the midfield. We literally are missing a couple pieces in the attack to having a complete team where everyone's going to be fearful of every single level. I know you're smiling.
It's so long, man. This is the longest process in the world. Jesus.
You want to know something? We were too early 2 years ago. We should have won the league, though, still. We can still get better right now, easily.
You could get worse, and that's a possibility.
You could get worse, but the worst case scenario would be if a bunch of our players get picked off or get season-ending injuries. Right now, I only see a clear vision of Arsenal next season having the best squad in the league.
You see football as a linear curve where, like, season you get better.
This season we stagnated. Last season we were still getting better. This season maybe we're stagnating. Offensively, we've definitely regressed. Defensively, we're still up there. But I do think Arsenal, if anyone is set up to dominate England in the next coming years, it's Arsenal. If Arsenal were to finish behind anybody in this league table that's not named Man City, that would be something that I would consider a sackable offense for Arteta.
Hey, Gal, talk to me, bro.
Talk to me, bro. Crimes against
talk
football.
To me.
First things first.
I was watching that with Lawless, like, no, he didn't say that.
Okay, first things first. As for the Arteta sackable offense thing, I've already changed my stance on that. I've explained why, due to circumstances that have taken place during the season.
Which were?
Fair play to Liverpool.
That's which were? Just for re-jog people. No, but there's a lot of people that are watching this that didn't hear what you said previously. So
injuries,
which were?
Refereeing decisions, and just culmination of unprecedented circumstances. That
what do you mean by unprecedented? Tell me. Explain.
Like you having two players sent off in a way that's never been sent off before.
So like getting a penalty for a Superman punch, where the goalkeeper for West Ham came out, punched the ball like Wolves had against them with Man United, and it weren't a penalty from Onana in the last minute of the game, 97th minute, and it weren't a penalty. But then was it Fabianski? Yeah, came out, punched Gabriel, missed the ball, clapped off his head. We've never seen a penalty for that. So that's unprecedented. That's the first time we've ever seen that, no? So that's the same. Also unprecedented was Odegaard playing basketball, at Anfield.
What does that have to do with this season?
No, but we're talking about unprecedented circumstances. You're saying unprecedented and refereeing decisions and red cards and injuries. So on that basis, Odegaard playing basketball, which should have been a penalty. Can we agree? Are we agreeing on? I'm not having a go at you. You know that. Go, you're my boy.
I agree.
That was a penalty, no?
Yeah.
So if that was given as a penalty, we might not have got a draw out of that game. So that would
That
have
was
been
last season, though. What does that have to do with
okay.
this?
So last season we finished 2 points behind.
No, but Lee,
So
you
that
see
would have
how
been
far
3
you have
points.
to go.
No, I've gone back to last
you
season.
see how far you have to go
Okay,
back.
let's go. Okay, let's go this season.
No, but this
Yeah.
is Lee. 1 second. This is irrelevant.
Well, it's
bring it
not.
back
Let's
to
go this
the-
season then. Let's go this season then.
No.
This
but then-
season we get a corner that weren't a corner and we scored and we beat Tottenham.
Lee, I just want to say one more thing before I head off. I'm sorry. I literally told these guys I got to
Man's
go.
rage quit again, you know.
No, it's not
every
about
time I
rage
run.
quit.
Every time I turn up, he
Dan,
rage quits.
Dan, do I not have a show right now?
No,
It's just sort of
I
coming-
did say you got to go at 11. I did say.
Yeah.
Again,
I want you
Come
to
on.
explain that Lawless clip as well, man. Come on.
Okay. I believe that Man City still have to rebuild their team. They're going to have to rebuild the defense, midfield, and get those players to gel. Liverpool could potentially lose both Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk. This summer is huge for anybody who's trying to set themselves up. I think at this moment in time, nobody knows who's going to go into next season the best, but the team that has the most solidity going into next season at this moment in time is probably Arsenal because
Man
of the
City.
fact that Man City have to overhaul their whole
One sec,
midfield
man.
and they have to overhaul their whole defense.
One sec, brother.
They have a bigger job than Liverpool and Arsenal at this
No,
point.
they don't. No, they don't.
They
I'll
do.
tell you why. Yeah, the Red Cartel, have spent, a whopping what in January. Yeah, Man City went, yo, we effed up in the summer. Pep admitted it. And before you go, and I know you've got to go.
And they've still been
I-
shit.
And they've still been shit. However, they've roped the season off. They're still going to get top 4 because the league's crap, right? And then they're going to go and
The
get
league's
rid of
actually really good.
No, the league's crap, right?
The league
Hence
is better
why-
than it's been over the last couple of
No,
years.
it's not. They're crap.
The
and
standard of
they're
the
still
league is
fourth.
not because of Manchester United and Tottenham and Chelsea. The
No,
standard
I
of the league is
understand
based on
that.
the
But
whole
however, if Chelsea, Man United, Tottenham, and Man City had done what they were supposed to do, we wouldn't see Forest and Bournemouth up there. And Newcastle.
But
Let's
if the
be real.
standard of the league was shit, Tottenham and these guys would be up there because the rest of the teams would be shit.
The standard
No,
of the
no,
league
no,
is
hang on,
trash.
hang on.
Right? No,
The
Brandon,
standard
one
of the
second.
league
I
is
just want to
higher
ask
league.
him one question, Brandon. Sorry. Right. So you're talking about injuries. Yeah. How many games has 29 missed? How many games did Odegaard miss? How many games has Saka missed? Because I'll tell you right now, no, how many games has Martinelli missed? Before you answer that, Jota's missed 10 games, Alisson missed 8 games, Konate's missed 6 games, and Elliott's missed 10 games. That's without any of their other injuries to Gomez, to other players in the squad
How about
that are squad
this?
fillers.
Let's flip
So
it.
tell me what
flip it.
games, tell me
Yeah,
how many
yeah,
games
let's
29's
go,
missed.
Let's flip it. Let's flip
Jesus
it.
and all these,
How
man. No,
many
let's not
players-
flip it.
How many
Answer the
players have
question.
not missed games at all? Because I can tell you.
That's
how many
irrelevant.
players did not
How many
miss
players
games at
didn't miss
all.
games last season? We had Saka miss no games.
Okay,
Saliba
but Lee,
broke
you
a
see
record.
you see how you want to change things to suit
No,
your
I'm
narrative?
asking you a question, Miguel. And
No,
you're
but
flipping it to
I
how
can
many have
answer
not
your
missed a game.
question. I can
Saliba
answer
never
your
missed a
question.
game last season. Miguel, Saliba, are you asking me a question? I'll tell you. Saliba never missed a game last season. He never missed a game. The season before that, it was, that's the reason we bottled 8 points because we had Rob
It
Holding.
was.
Okay, well, he played every minute of every game last season. Yeah, and we still didn't win the league. Bukayo Saka was barely injured at all last season. We didn't win the league last season. Martin Odegaard played nearly every minute of every game, didn't win the league last season. 29 played nearly every minute of every game last season, didn't win the league last season. Gabriel Martinelli played the majority of games, Trossard filled in every now and again. We didn't win the league last season. Yeah, Timber was the only injury we really had. Yeah, and Thomas Partey because of one of them ones. Other than that, Ben White played nearly every minute of every game. Yeah, we had a full fit squad last season up against, as you considered, your words, one of the best clubs ever to have played in the Premier League in Man City. Your words also were, yo, if we don't finish above Man City and any other club finishes above Arsenal, it's a sackable offence. Now, all of a sudden, we get a couple of injuries. How many games has 29 missed? Doesn't matter how long he's out for, because this is what you super gooners do.
He's out for the rest of the season.
That's irrelevant. How many games has he missed up until this point? 2-3 games, 29. 2-3 games, Martinelli. Saka's missed 12 games. Yeah, Odegaard missed 9 games. He's been back for more than that, and he's been crap all season anyway. So now let's put Alisson, Jota, and all these other men, Kanate, Harvey Elliott, and all these men in there. Now all the other little injuries, because these are their main men. But now what you guys want to do is go, well, Salah,
wait, stop.
Salah and
Who's
Van
main
Dijk. Their main man, the best goalkeeper in the world is Alisson.
Nah, bro, stop it.
Who's the best
You
keeper
see
in the
how he
world?
tried to put all of those guys. You named a bunch of bench players, and Kanate
Well,
and
Alisson and Kanate.
Kanate and Alisson are the only guys who you mentioned who are their main players. By the way, Liverpool have had Ryan Gravenberch, McAllister, Mo Salah, Luis Diaz.
How many
Van
games has
Dijk,
Gakpo missed?
and Robertson not miss a single game.
That's irrelevant. I've just told you the names of the players that were our main players that never missed a game last season, and we didn't win the league. No, I know that, Agel. I know that, Agel.
I know.
I understand. No, listen.
I told you.
Agel. Agel. Respectfully, before you go,
if you want to have a full show, we can have a conversation another time.
I've been asking you for months. Let's do a weekly show. You said you ain't got time for that.
We will figure.
Did I ask you that? Am I lying?
Yeah, you did. We'll figure something out. We'll figure something out this week or so. Because I feel like this needs to happen.
Jota's out 4 months. Alisson out 3 months. Konate out 6 weeks.
Lee, tell me when Arsenal have had 7 out of the 11 starters fit for the whole season right now this season. Because Liverpool.
What about last season when we had them all fit?
Last season we just.
And you agree? And okay, do you agree that Man City, based off of last season, before we went into this season, per your words at the beginning of the season, Man City, yeah, are better than Liverpool. Liverpool finished behind Ten Hag, by the way. Yeah, they finished 5th. Then they finished 3rd last season. Per your words, how many players? Yeah, let me ask you this before you go, and I'll let you go, and we'll do a show another time. Yeah, would you have taken Trent over Ben White or Timber? No, you wouldn't. Would you have taken Tsimikas or Robbo over Calafiori? Yeah, or anyone else you want to put at left back? No, you wouldn't. Would you have taken Van Dijk and Kanato over our centre backs? No, you wouldn't. But bear in mind, they've got more clean sheets than us this season, but we've got less goals conceded. So which one's the best defence? The one with the less goals or the one with the clean sheets? Anyway, would you take Alisson over Raya? You probably would. Let's be real. We're not stupid. Now, would you take McAllister, yeah, and Gravenberch over Declan Rice and Thomas Partey? No, you wouldn't. Would you take Szoboszlai over Odegaard? No, you wouldn't. Would you take Gakpo or Diaz over Martinelli or Trossard? No, you wouldn't. Would you take Mohamed Salah over Saka? Well, debatable, but you love Starboy. So that's up in the air. No. So who are you taking? Salah or Saka?
You're the one who said Mo Salah.
I'm asking you the question. I'm asking you the question.
You're the one who said Mo Salah is not better than.
I'm asking you. No, that's irrelevant. What I've said. I'm asking you. Would you take Saka over Salah?
Never.
Okay.
Salah's
So you're
okay.
So 1 second. So 1 second. Every other position I've said, you'll take Alisson over Raya. The rest you agree on with me. Yeah. You wouldn't take all these other players before the season started. No, let's not rewrite history. No, let's not rewrite history, Agel. Agel, I know you're on short time. Let's not rewrite history. The only 2 players you would take at the start of the season, not now, at the start of the season for Arsenal were Alisson and Salah. Am I lying?
No, I would take.
Thank you. So on that premise alone, forget injuries. We are better than them on your basis. So why the fuck is he 11 points clear?
I told you, red cards and injuries. Anyway.
Okay, well, guess what? Last year, they had 4 red cards in fucking 10 games.
And you want to know something? It was a miracle that they were even in the title race last season.
A miracle. Wow. It's almost like a...
This guy, bro, I wish that Barcelona game was finishing earlier.
Dan, I swear. Do you know what? They kicked off at 9:30. Yeah, they normally kick off at 9, but the Copa del Rey kicks off at 9:30.
Yeah, man. I was only tongue in cheek, man. I know you got to do your thing, but yeah, man, he's got his stream.
But Dan, this is my point. Yeah? This is my point. Arsenal fans at the start of the season said, "Well, Klopp's left. Yeah, Salah's old. Yeah, Trent wants to leave as well. Van Dijk's fucking washed. Blah blah blah. Oh, we'll only take Alisson and Salah. That's it. Now it's he's inherited a world-class squad. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Well, you didn't
fact.
rate any of them because you only wanted 2 of their players. They finished
agree,
third
bro.
and fifth. Yeah, they finished behind Ten Hag, which you don't rate. Yeah, what are we doing here?
Look, man,
come on.
I've got to agree, man. I've got to agree. Brandon, I know you don't have long either, so I was going to ask this question to the panel, and we'll go and have a discussion on this. Martin Odegaard, what is going on with this man? Do we believe he's captain material? The question is, would Gabriel or Rice be more suited to the armband? I'll let you go first, Brandon, because I don't have long, mate.
Not a fucking chance should he be captain, mate. Not a chance. If anything, he sums up everything that's wrong at this football club right now. You only have to watch the clips that we see doing the rounds on Twitter from the West Ham game at the weekend. He's running away from the ball, hiding. You know, we used to dig out Mesut Ozil for only turning up in certain games. You know, there was this thing going around about Ozil not, turning up at big away games. This guy barely turns up at all. Everybody thinks he's this creative spark. He's this guy who's laying chances on a plate. Who's creating scoring goals and creating assists. He ain't that guy. I don't know how many times I've got to keep telling people. He's a link man. Yes, he links defence and attack, but he is not a Kevin De Bruyne. He is not a Mesut Ozil. He is not even a Bruno Fernandes. He's not even them guys.
Fact.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes, he's shit, but at least he comes up with goals and assists. That's what a proper number 10 does. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. People wanted to compare him to players at Man City. I compare Martin Odegaard as an overall player and how he plays. He is more like a Bernardo Silva than he is a Kevin De Bruyne. He links the play between defence and attack very well. Rarely comes up with goals and assists. Exactly like Bernardo Silva. Looks busy, but is doing fuck all a lot of the time. That's Bernardo Silva as well. Kevin De Bruyne is your out-and-out number 10. If Arsenal really want to solve this problem in midfield, I ain't even joking on this, right? Because we're probably going to lose Thomas Partey in the summer. We're probably going to lose Jorginho as well. Of course, we're going to need to bring in replacements because the squad's already thin. To me, you put Declan Rice as the 6. Let him do the sweeping up in front of the defence. Yeah, let him be the 5th man to, sweep up in front of the defence and do what he was doing at West Ham. Put Odegaard in the 8 and go and buy a proper number 10. Somebody who's going to create.
Agreed.
So we're not consistently crossing balls in no man's land all the time. I'm sick and tired of Arsenal fans getting infatuated with this. Oh, well, we only need a striker, guys. We don't only need a striker.
6 players.
Yeah, 6. DJB just said it perfectly. 6 players minimum.
Yeah.
And if it was up to me,
sorry,
I'd go and get another manager as well. Right?
The only reason, this is why you have to rely on a manager, my friend, to make them big decisions, what you said earlier. To put Declan Rice as a number 6 and to put Odegaard as a number 8 and buy a proper number 10 is down to a manager. And this manager is not capable of making those decisions. And this is what I've been trying to say to Igal and people like this. He's not capable in-game management of making these decisions.
Do you know what you get, DJB, right? Every time, it doesn't matter who you suggest. Every time you suggest a manager who could replace Mikel Arteta, he's not good enough. Yeah, or he's washed, or whatever, right? I was thinking about this earlier. Arsenal, like it or not, and some rival fans in the chat might even disagree with me on this, but hear me out, right? Arsenal, if they really wanted to, have the capabilities of attracting any manager in world football right now. And I'm including the likes of Carlo Ancelotti in this. What I mean by that, if you go back to when Wenger was in charge, I'd be very sceptical about the type of manager that Arsenal could attract, because at that time, we wasn't spending big money. The manager wasn't being backed. Yeah. But now we've seen a transformation, right? In the sense that if you come to Arsenal now, this is all the incentive that a manager needs. Even someone like a Carlo, right? Carlo Ancelotti has won everything that there is to win in the game. He's managed multiple clubs as well. But here's the incentive for Carlo Ancelotti to come and manage Arsenal. You're going to get given time. You're going to be paid double what you're earning right now. £15 million a year is what we pay Arteta. Yeah, so we pay our managers well. We paid Wenger very well as well. You're also going to get backed over time with money in the transfer market, right? And also on top of that, you have the incentive of being written into the history books for Arsenal. And you only need to do one thing: win Arsenal a Champions League. And they will build a statue for you outside the stadium. Win
Facts.
Premier League titles back to back and achieve something that Arsene Wenger and George Graham never did.
Facts, yeah.
And they will love you forever. You will be written into the history books. That's all the incentive that you need. Like, even with, think about it as well, right? Mourinho and Conte went to Tottenham. A lot of people think they went there for money. Of course they went there for money. But they also, these managers, these big managers have egos as well, big egos, right? Mourinho and Conte didn't just go to Tottenham for money. Mourinho and Conte went to Tottenham because they thought that they could be the guys to change Tottenham's fortunes, to win them their first trophy in 13 years, to maybe
Yeah.
win them their first ever Premier League title, right?
Yeah, no,
So
facts.
we can attract any manager in world football if we really wanted to. There is no reason why we have to keep this guy in charge, where we could literally go and get anybody if we really wanted to.
We don't
And
want to, though, Brandon.
if we want to be successful under this ownership, unfortunately, and I said this on Sophie's channel yesterday, we have to bring in the best in class. Yeah, because the owners, they don't care about Arsenal in the sense that they're not really footballing guys. So if you're gonna be successful on the pitch, you have to have the best in class in terms of running the footballing side of the football club. And we went to give it to two novices.
Yeah.
Do
But
you know
that's
what I mean?
who that's the club you've affected, Brandon. That's who we are as a club. All you said that we can get the best managers we want, but I think what's happened is that we have to change as a club. We've got to change. We've got to move on for Victoria Concordia credit. I'll tell you one thing now. The manager you describe, we have to adjust because they may not want to. Certain managers like your Mourinho's, your Ancelotti's, they like to stay at club 2 or 3 years and they go on to the next challenge. So until we change and add that kind of ownership that is like Roman, is like the Sheikhs, and it's like the guys in Paris, then we will get these big managers, because these big managers know full well two things: if they're shit, they'll get paid anyway. But because of the way they like to operate, it suits that a manager wants success yesterday. For instance, Mourinho, we've seen with him now, he doesn't like to stay at a club more than 4 or 5 years. That's why when he went to Chelsea in 2004, when it all cost Chelsea, suited him down to the ground. He picked a fight with Abramovich, went to Internazionale. How long was he at Internazionale for? 3 years? Buggered off to Real Madrid because he saw something better. That's the thing we need to do as a club. We have to change. We can blame the Cronkies all we like, of course, because you blame the Cronkies because they're men in possession. But I promise you now, the Cronkies bought into Arsenal. The Arsenal I know, if we go back to 71, we won the league. We did the double in 71. What did we win after that for 8 years? We didn't do nothing. Then 91, when we win the near invincibles, the same thing happened. We did nothing. We allowed Blackburn under Jack Walker to run away and dominate the Premiership alongside Man United. So this is not new. The Cronkies are doing what we're doing 50 years, which means we have to change as a club. And if that means, forget the badge, forget Victoria Concordia credit, forget, we do things in a classy way. So what? Because all of us on this panel, that the only way to win the Champions League is to outspend the opposition and get the best men in behind the scenes, because the Champions League is the alpha and omega. Arsenal, in the next 30 years, will probably win the league once or twice. But I'm sorry, and I don't want to offend anyone here, that's the equivalent of a bloke getting the goodies on his 60th birthday. He got the goodies 10 years ago on his 50th, and then 20 years before he got his goodies in his 50th. That is
birthday
how
fucking
this is
bang.
Arsenal Football Club, though. Tell me it's anything different. You haven't won a title for 21 years. You didn't win the title in 89 for 18 years. You see the pattern. You see what I'm coming from.
No, you're bang on, Kelly.
Just before I go, Dan, in answer to your question, Gabriel should be our captain, by the way. Yeah, he's the only one there.
I was on mute. Yeah, go on, Brad. Gabriel, do you say, yeah?
Yeah, he's the only one really there with the leadership skills that stands up.
I think
9 times out of 10, you know, you could see him talking on the pitch. He demands. He's even a goal threat for us. You know, he's the only player in that team that I can look at and say, yeah, okay, you're more likely captain material. This guy Odegaard, mate, what are we doing here? And that's it. That's where I'm going to end. But big up, guys.
Come on, bro. Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you, Brandon. And see you next week, my bro. Have a good evening. Take care, man. Love. Yeah. Let me share this because I've got to share this. This is absolutely. I mean, wow. What are we seeing? What are we seeing here? You have to bear with me because my internet is just bugging. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
No, you can. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. We're on now. There we go. I don't know why it's taking forever. Wow.
Feast your eyes on this.
Wow, people. How toxic.
Click on the picture, Dan. Click on the picture
How
if you can.
Toxic. Yeah, my computer is bugging. Sorry, man.
If you click on the actual picture, it'll go full screen, I think.
Oh, will it?
The actual picture.
Sorry, I'm with you. I like that. Sorry.
There you go. We are not Arsenal. Win or fuck off. This is a Chelsea fan at the game tonight. They've gone 3 years without a trophy. We've gone 5 years, over 5 years. They've won. Their last 3 trophies were all in Europe. That eclipsed our entire history in Europe. Yeah, I've quote tweeted that tweet and I've said, whoever this guy is, bless up you, bruv. Email me. I'll get you on my channel. We need more people like that on the internet with a voice. Yeah, and I guarantee Chelsea fans were bombarding him at the ground tonight. Yeah, they won 4-0. Yeah, they won 4-0. I guarantee he got abused tonight. I guarantee he was having to fucking give it all that against other people, blah, blah, blah. This guy has seen his team successful probably his entire life. He looks like Daniel Sturridge, to be fair. Yeah, he play for Chelsea. Bless up Daniel Sturridge.
This is the problem, Lee.
Yeah, I will get that guy on my channel. If that guy emails me and he can prove it's him, I'll get that guy on my channel.
Look at the comment. Look at the comment on the right. You're right. You're not Arsenal. You're barely relevant until Abramovich decided to pump money into your club.
Yeah.
Chelsea's nothing without this crooked money. How many current Chelsea fans would have started supporting Chelsea if not for Abramovich?
Yeah. How many current Arsenal fans would have started supporting Arsenal unless Arsene Wenger went invincible? How many current Arsenal fans would have supported unless he done a double? Yeah. How many current Arsenal fans would have supported unless he beat Fergie? Yeah. Won at Old Trafford. Yeah. Part of the 98 and all that as well. Tottenham, 04. Yeah, these man chat shit. They chat crap. And most of these idiots that are replying to that, I've read some of the comments, but that's why I was laughing. Read some of the comments. Oh, these fake Chelsea fans. Yeah, bruv, you're a fake Arsenal fan. You don't know the history of Arsenal, let alone Chelsea. Chelsea finished, Kenny, DJ, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure they finished 3 points behind Man United in the treble winning season, or 4 points. Yeah, they finished third. It was a free.
It was 5. It was 5 points eventually.
And it was a 3-horse race. So when they were chatting shit the other year, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal. Oh, it's just the best Premier League season we've ever seen. No, 99. Yeah, 3-horse race, mate. Yeah, we then got done. Bergkamp missed the penalty. Giggsy, we know all of that. Yeah, and then obviously Bayern Munich, they beat them. Yeah, we bottled the title. Yeah, Chelsea were sick. Yeah, Chelsea before Abramovich, were winning trophies. They were getting to cup finals. They were in a title race and then fell away. A little bit like us in the later years of Wenger. We'd get there till February, January, and then we'd fold. That was Chelsea before Abramovich. Yeah, look at the Invincible season, yeah? We won the league Invincible. Ranieri got sacked. How many points did he finish behind us? Yeah, come on.
We got 90 points, and they finished about 13 points behind, 12 points behind us.
Thank you. Yeah. So they got 78 points. We're going to struggle to get 78 points.
Well, they've said that it could be the lowest points in. It'd be lower than last season. That's for sure.
Liverpool will win this league at a canter. We're currently on 53 points, right, with 12 games to go, right? So that's 36 points left. Yeah, so we can maximum get 89 points. 89. We'll be lucky to get 78.
We won't.
Yeah, that's what Ranieri finished second behind Arsenal on. Yeah, he got sacked because Roman came in and said, "See you later." Yeah, Jose comes in, younger manager, youngest squad ever to win the Prem. Yeah, younger squad than this manager's ever managed, right? Best defense ever in the Prem, and he retained it. Yeah, what phase was he in? Oh, but he's backed by a Russian oligarch. Okay, cool. We set out to do it, mate. And he was up against prime Fergie. He was up against Arsenal, who just done invincible. Right? A few years later, the Sheikh rocks up at Man City. Yeah, then Fergie wins it again. Yeah, Chelsea keep winning. Ancelotti, all their man. Yeah, like Conte, all the. Yeah, it's like Wenger. Bro, the excuses are finished. Yeah, they're finished. It's done.
Finished.
It's done. It's done. Yeah, Chelsea, cool. You had Roman. Man City, cool. You got the Sheikh. Yeah, Man United, cool. You got Fergie. Fantastic. We had Wenger, bruv. Yeah. How did Leicester win the league then? Because they were all here. They were all here, by the way. Well, Fergie had fucked off by then. Yeah. Yeah, but they still had Roman. The Sheikh was here. Yeah. Wenger was still here. So how did Claudio Ranieri, who got potted for finishing second behind the Invincible, go to Leicester and win a title? How? How is that possible? Oh, but as you're talking about the anomaly. Okay, fantastic. The anomaly. Cool. Well, tell me why Forest are third then. Yeah, why? It's same season then. It's the same season as Leicester winning the league. Everyone fell off. Yeah, including Liverpool, Arsenal back then. Well, actually, Arsenal didn't fall off. We were actually top at Christmas. We should have won the league. Tottenham were never top. But our fan base sitting there and laugh at, oh, you bottled a 2-horse race and finished third. They were never top. But this is what our fans do. There's always an excuse. And this has been going since even before Wenger, even back in George Graham era. There's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. And this fan base continually peddled that out. Chelsea, yeah, well, I had some idiot earlier, right? I quote tweeted somebody, yeah, and I said, what's the difference between finishing whatever? And he was like, oh, yeah, but look at them. I was like, bruv, yeah, Man United are 15th. Who cares? Yeah. He said they're in a relegation battle. I was like, bruv, you do realise that Arteta had us 15th for 5 straight weeks and Thomas Tuchel was sat at home. That was the clip with you, Flowers and my man, LB. What's up, LB? Yeah. Where he said, Flowers said he would sack Ruben Amorim if he don't win a trophy. Dan asked him a great question. I clipped it. I'll pull it out. Yeah. Would you sack Ruben Amorim this season if he doesn't win a trophy? He went, because his brain's now processing it. Shit. What have I said before? Okay, cool. Yeah, yes and no. Okay, cool. So yes and no. So you're sitting on the fence. Yeah, I'd sack him if he don't win a trophy. Yeah. But that's only if there's a better manager available. Okay, cool. But you've spent 3 years telling us that we're scary, dangerous, scintillating, unstoppable, champions elect. And having to go at anyone who calls it out. Yeah. And we have to trust the process. So why aren't you trusting that? He's been there half a season, mate. He ain't got all of his pieces. Yeah. This particular guy replied, oh, they're in a relegation battle. No, they're not, mate. They're about 15 points ahead of relegation. What are you waffling about? Our manager had us bottom of the table when Tottenham were fucking top. First time ever in English football history. Right? Our manager had us 15th for 5 straight weeks when Tommy Tukes was sat at home. Yeah. So you're telling me that Thomas Tuchel is not a better manager than Super Duper Mick back then? That same guy that I quote tweeted, came back at me and said, Tuchel, ? Aired him. Bro, that guy went into Chelsea and got to 6 finals in 14 months, eclipsed our entire European pedigree as a club. Yeah. Lost the other 3 finals. Super Cup. Yeah. Club World Cup. Champions League. Beat Man City. How can you beat Pep? It's impossible. How many pieces did he have? How much money did he spend? Yeah. But he's not better than Super Duper Mick. And this is the problem, yeah? These cucks, and they are cucks, yeah? They're little fucking fanboys. Yeah, it's embarrassing. I don't care about league finish. Kenny, DJ, Dan, chat. We finished 10th and won the Cup double in 93. Did anyone give 2 Fs about fucking 10th?
No. Just want a trophy. Staff. But listen,
Thank you.
I said it when like when the stream first started. I listened to his press conference. I'm just fed up of his excuses now, man. He spins it all the time. Now he's going on about red cards and injuries. And what does that does? It infests the fan base. They feed off of what he says and they get sucked in. And it's another narrative that he's spinning. And he spins it all the time. And the fan base gets sucked in with this guy. What I want to know is one of our most successful manager winning league titles and everything else got handed out of the club. Banners, everything. Got pelters.
People like me, by the way.
Got pelters thrown at him. All right, I didn't. All right, I wanted change. I thought he'd run his course, but there was no way I was going to. I didn't slag the man off.
I did.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to own up to that.
No, that's fine. Right, I didn't because of the joy he gave me over the years, but I just felt that there should have been a change. Right, I want to know how this guy Arsene Wenger got absolutely hounded out of our club and pelters and fans turned against him. What is it with this guy? Why is he getting a free run? Why is it so bad to question this guy and everything he does? Why is it so toxic to say, why ain't you done this? Why ain't you done that? Yeah, I blame him for making Odegaard a captain. He should never have made Odegaard a captain. Any decent manager could pick out a captain. You wouldn't get George Graham making anyone else other than Tony Adams a captain. It's ridiculous. He's to blame for making him captain. You can't blame
for our fucking injuries.
What I'm trying to say is, guys, you can't blame Odegaard for being captain. You've got to blame the guy that's made him captain.
Yep.
This is a big difference. Yeah.
You can't blame Hector Bellerin for playing every week and Granit Xhaka playing every week, dropping stinker. Can't blame Sweat, obviously.
No, exactly.
Because they're getting paid to play and they're being picked. They're going to play. You can't blame 29 for being on the pitch every week. Yeah, 100%. You have to look at the manager who's picking him.
Exactly. You have to look at who makes the decisions. And getting back to your question, Dan, about I believe Gabriel should be captain. He's the only one that shows any real passion.
Facts.
All right. Yeah. But again, if we can see it, why can't the manager see it? This is what I don't understand.
It's easy. You've answered your question, though, DJ, but you've answered your question. And how you answer your question is, you're talking about right now. We got a triumvirate. We got a triumvirate of ego-based control freak managers. Pep is the biggest control freak I've ever seen in football in all my life. Amorim's up there, but he hasn't got the credentials in this country to do that. Mikel Arteta is a control freak. I think Odegaard is exactly the captain he wants. We've been used to Tony Adams running the show, not just he's a manager on the field. I think with a lot of situation as well, there's no room for managers on the field as long as this man's our manager and managers like him, because the reason why is that you've seen Arteta, you go to matches, so you, Dan, you've seen how he tells players what runs to make, when to make those runs, and if they don't make those runs or make that pass, he's having a go at them. So when you've got a manager like him, the captaincy is very, very overrated. It's actually non-existent, because all you're going to need is the captain to basically toss the coin and pick what you change to kick off from. You know what I mean?
That's what I think. Absolutely. They're just
very much a micromanager. But in terms of the reason why the fan base is infatuated, Mikel, well, without trying to be respectful, we now got Roman Kemp. Everyone doesn't know.
I mudded him, by the way. I
had a do with him last night.
And then if you don't know Roman Kemp, I'm going to describe Roman Kemp. His dad was in a rock band where his dad wore makeup, grew his hair long, and basically the lead singer of his dad's group was a fat Tory who got run down by Lady Wagwan Campbell on "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here." That's who
And he
this
was in
rubbish.
EastEnders.
Sprint down belly.
I'm even going to talk about it.
But this is someone with no talent was living off the back of his dad as well. Remember?
But you know what? When he put that tweet out yesterday. It was some long essay. I read 3 lines of it. Right, and I quoted it. I said, "What's the difference? Yeah, you win the same thing for every position." And he replied back to it and said, "Well, not financially, bruv. I don't care about it." Right, and I was going to quote him again. I thought, "F him." I said on my other channel, I was like, bro, this guy is capital FM DJ. He got the job. Right? He's been brought in. He's won an award, let's say. Right? This is the equivalent to Super Duper Mick. You've been given a job. Yeah. Somebody else has been sacked or left, mutual consent. You've got the job. The listening figures have gone up. Yeah. You win an award. Now, you're up against Chris Moyles, Chris Evans, and whoever the other DJs are. Yeah. Well, I don't listen to all this crap because I'm in Spain now. Yeah. Right. But now you're there or thereabouts. But what we'll do is we'll pay you more, then we'll pay you more again. But you ain't won an award again. And the listening figures are there or thereabouts the same as what they were when you won the award. Now you've fallen off a cliff a little bit, and people are the rumblings. Yeah. But now Chris Moyles is available, Chris Evans is available. Yeah. The audience are going, they sack him.
Exactly.
Why? Because it's all about the viewing figures. Yeah, it's the same in football. Win or fuck off, like that Chelsea fan said. And the last thing I'll say before I go bathroom, right? I'm sick to death of this, lads. Real talk here, right? Because when you guys said, what has this manager got as a hold? I'll tell you what he's got as a hold. He's been paid 15 million quid to keep his mouth shut. And what he'll do is he'll allude. I ain't listened or seen any of the transcripts of his press conference. I ain't seen none of it. Yeah, normally I react to that. I did the show with Rants and then went out. Yeah, right? But again, what you guys are saying, I trust and believe what you're saying. He's blaming red cards. He's blaming injuries. Yeah, cool, fantastic, no drama. Now he's playing subconsciously on the fan base. Yeah, that is done by design. He now knows there's an army of div that has latched onto this football club and latched onto him because they believe and want him to be the next Arsene. Yeah, he's never going to be that, bruv. Yeah, Arsene Wenger had won stuff before he came to our club. George Graham, was at Mill. Yeah, who's realistic? Well, let's go and get Millwall's manager, mate. Let's go and get Grand Passaic manager. These men want to sit there and mug off every single manager we put on the table. Tommy Tukes, is the second most successful manager in PSG history. Laurent Blanc is top of the Saudi league, right? Oh, it's a shit league. It's the Camel League. Yeah, cool. Well, he's PSG's most successful manager. Oh, it's a Farmers League. Okay, cool. Can we all agree that fucking Kante's a baller? Oh, he came from the Farmers League. Can we all agree that Mahrez is he came from the Farmers League? Yeah. Now check this, He's up against the Real Madrid of fucking Saudi. Yeah, he's 7 points clear in his first season and knocked him out the cup. Aubameyang is playing for a team that just got promoted. They're third in the table. Yeah, and he's top scorer at the club. Yeah, but these fans, and this is where I get the ump with it. The fans that say, yo, I've had to fuck this manager like us, F him, piss off, see you later. We stick with it, right? The fans that go, I back him, I love him, he can't do no wrong, give him everything. Cool, I hear it. Yeah, unless you're an older head like us, you've seen everything, bruv, apart from a champs, right? So how are you getting that mentality? But the ones like a Gale, like Hooks, and I'll call Hooks out like I did last night on Faz's channel, whilst he was there, these fans that go, well, if he don't do this and he finishes below this and he don't win this and this and this and this, sack him. But then as soon as we get Saka injured, well, that's the season done. Well, it's unprecedented circumstances. No, they're the ones that keep this, I'm not going to say that word, keep him in a job. Because you know what?
Talking of Igal wants me to read this to you, Lee, quickly. I know you got to go bathroom. This is the best quality the league's ever had. At least in terms of the pace and mid, at least, hang on a minute, at least Why can't I read that? At least in terms of the base and mid teams, more money than ever before, more pros than ever before, more knowledge than ever before. So many of these lower clubs have their best ever teams in decades. What do you make to that, Guns?
Fantastic. I'll tell you why. Yeah, because the standard of the biggest clubs in the league has fallen off a cliff. So you're seeing Bournemouth, with all due respect, you're seeing Forest, and they're a big club. You're seeing Villa, you're seeing Newcastle. Yeah, you're seeing these clubs. Oh,
Fulham.
it looks amazing. Fulham, you're seeing all these clubs. Yeah, why? Because the standards at Chelsea have fallen off a cliff. Would Chelsea fans, yeah, would they accept that under Roman? No, they would not. Yeah, would we accept this under Wenger? No, we hounded him out the club, and I was part of that. Yeah, he won 3 trophies, got to a League Cup final that we lost, and we were there. Yeah, he got to a semi-final of a Europa League, and we were there. Yeah, in his last 5 years. So the standard for Wenger was up here. The standard for this guy is down here. The standard for Ruben Amorim is down here. The standard for Ten Hag was up here, and he won 2 trophies. These men have got it in their head. And DJ, you said it best on my emergency meeting after the game the other day. What is the difference between 2nd and 16th? It's just a day out or night out in midweek and a season ticket increase. That's it. And this is the thing that has been infested in English football. Tottenham couldn't give a shit about winning trophies. It's all about, style of play, the Tottenham way. What is the Tottenham way, by the way? Yeah, the West Ham way. What's the West Ham way, bruv? They've won 1 trophy in my entire life. Yeah, I'm 43 in June. No disrespect to these clubs, by the way, right? But when Man United fall off a cliff,
Saturday they beat Arsenal.
Yeah, Chelsea fall off a cliff. Man United fall off a cliff. Man City fall off a cliff, and then they go, do you know what? It's going to do 219 million in Jan. They're going to do another 350 in the summer. Why? Because they're the only fucking club in this league that understand it. Why do Real Madrid keep winning and winning and winning? Why? Because they don't care about style of play. They're shit to watch. Real Madrid are crap to watch. Yeah, guess what? Ain't about your entertainment, mate. Yeah, it's about getting over the line and winning shit. Yeah, we don't care whether we please you. I mean, it's pretty on the eye. It ain't about that. And Real Madrid get that. Ancelotti did his press conference today, yeah? I watched his press conference. Right, and I'll say this very quickly, and then I'll go bathroom. Ancelotti was asked about Arda Güler leaving to go to the Prem. He said, there's no case. There's no case. He goes, he plays for the best club in the world, and he's here, yeah, and he'll get game time, yeah? And go and have a look at Vinny Jr., other players, Rodrigo, so on and so forth. It takes time. He actually said process. I was fuming when he said process. It's a process to get him. Then he was talking about Asensio, the centre-back. Yeah, and he said he's surprised us this season. The only reason he's surprised you, Ancelotti, is because we Real Madrid, Hala Madrid in Adamas, have got an injury crisis at centre-back and have done for 3 years, which is why they wanted to riot against Perez and Ancelotti. But in terms of Brahim Diaz, in terms of Endrick, he spoke about Endrick. He said, yo, this guy's going to be an elite baller, but you can't play every week. Last season, this is my last point. Last season, he was asked, Arda Güler's not getting game time. Endrick's not getting game time. Some of the other youngsters are not getting game time. Vallejo, so on and so forth. He said, I'm here to win major honours, not play the youth. Yeah? Man United, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea. But it's a youth project. It takes time. Fuck off. That's one of the best managers I've ever seen in my life, bruv. Yeah. And he's won in 5 different leagues. He's won 4 Champions Leagues. He's won 5 Champions Leagues. He's won 2 as a player. Yeah. And he's going, we're here to win trophies, mate. Why? Because they get it. Man City get it. Yeah. Other countries get it. England is infested with non-stop PR, non-stop fairy tales and storylines. Yeah, league finish. If you finish 8th, but you finish 5th, that's progress. No, it ain't. You start again on 0 the next season, mate. Yeah, you win fuck all for finishing 2nd, 3rd, 8th, 16th. It's the same shit. Yeah, in the other countries, that's why they take the cup seriously. Anyway, sorry for waffling. I'm going for a piss.
Let me ask just quickly, DJ, I'll come to you first. Tomorrow night, we've obviously got Forest. I want to get onto that quick because I don't know about you, bruv, but I feel deflated about it. I'm not looking forward to it. What are you telling me?
Do you know what? I think Nottingham Forest they done well with Newcastle, didn't they? The other day, 4-3. I think they just missed out, and apparently they played well, and it could have gone either way. Bruv, they attack in numbers, and they've got a goal scorer as well. You know, whether you rate him or not, they've got a goal scorer in Chris Wood up front, and they do attack in numbers. They've got Gibbs White in midfield, who's having a brilliant season, and that place is going to be rocking tomorrow night. It's going to be absolutely rocking tomorrow night. They know now. If you look at the league table, Dan, I was looking at it tonight after tonight's results, and I think from Fulham upwards, they've all realistically got a chance of getting in the top four.
Mm.
Now, bearing in mind the top five can make the Champions League this year, Nottingham Forest will want to pull themselves away from that little group of teams that can make the top four. And they're probably looking at Arsenal and thinking, hang on a minute, we've seen West Ham go and do a job there. You know, so it's going to be tough, Dan. Obviously, I'd like us to win, but I just can't see it, mate. I really can't see it. The most I can see is a draw, but I can only see a Forest win or a draw. I cannot see Arsenal winning it tomorrow. We just haven't got it. We haven't. What have we got? We haven't got anything. We got nothing. We've got no striker. We've got no attacking threat. We've got nothing, Dan. You know, and
I agree.
It's going to be tough, mate. It's going to be tough.
No, it's going to be too tough, man. Look, Kenny, I'm going to come to you. Before I do that, I'm going to put a couple of these teams up because we've got a little bit of a little bit of something that we can do potentially. Look, I mean, this isn't going to be the team, but this is what I would like to see happen. I'd like to see a little bit of a formation change. Raya in goal, Ben White, Saliba, and Gabriel with Tierney and Timber as wing backs. Partey, Rice, Odegaard, and then Waneri and Trossard. Now, look, that is definitely not going to be the team, but that's something that we could change to if there is a formation change. And let me just quickly, before I bring you in, come into what I think the team will probably be, if I'm honest with you, which I think we all know is probably going to be similar to how we lined up, if not exactly the same, to how we lined up against West Ham. The only difference, of course, is that White and Timber playing at fullbacks because Lewis Skelly's out. He could play Calafiori and Timber at right back. What are you saying, bruv? What are you saying?
Well, first and foremost, one of the things we have to look at in terms of Nottingham Forest, I think they're feeling the effects of the season and the fact that the intensity, the fact they're still in the FA Cup and they're still in got a chance of getting a top four. They've been inconsistent since Christmas, especially away from home. They play well in games, but they haven't seen it through. But in terms of us, how we're going to play tomorrow, if we play like we did against West Ham and Leicester, then we will not win because Nottingham Forest have genuine players who can hurt us.
Yeah,
you talked about Gibbs White is going to be one of the top players. It's quite amazing that he hasn't got into the England side yet. That's shocking. But they got one thing Nottingham Forest have got is pace. You know, if they keep Langer fit, they got. I don't know what's the situation with Langer's fitness, but if he's fit tomorrow, he plays. You got Hudson-Odoi, a very, very good player who probably should be playing at a bigger club than Nottingham Forest. And sorry, Nottingham Forest fans, I'm not bigging him up, but that's how highly I'll rate Hudson-Odoi. And Chris Woods has scored, 19 goals this season, which is extraordinary for a player that is very much at the veteran stage. So, in that respect, we're going to find very, very difficult. And plus, another thing as well, they've got two meatheads in defence, Murillo. And I think they got the guy from, the Balkans as well. And Sells in goal. He's a very competent goalkeeper. So, really and truly, we are going to be difficult to beat. But we won't penetrate. Milenkovic. We won't penetrate Nottingham Forest personally, because we just haven't got it up top. If Nottingham Forest score first, then what Nottingham Forest will do is that they just have to low block as Espirito Santos sides like to play, and then they'll start hitting us with that pace. So it's essential that we get in front first. But to be honest, morale was so low at this moment of time that I genuinely believe that we'll be lucky to get a point That's how I feel. But in terms of team selection, Mikel Arteta would preferably like to play Calafiori at left back, but he hasn't got the form because I don't think he'll want to rush Ben White too much. I think he's going to look at getting Ben White in for the European games, where I think he may say, right, Ben, right back, and maybe Timber at left back, because I don't know because and I'm not having a go at Myers Lewis Skelly. I think he's a very, very good player. But really and truly, he probably wants to give Calafiori a horsewhipping because he hasn't lived up to the plate. Yeah,
I thought Skelly can't be in the question though, can he? Because he's suspended, and he.
But that's the thing. Yeah, and he's in a big trouble. But I'm talking about in Europe. Fast forward. I don't think he was ever going to really play him in that big game against PSV. I think he's going to go with his tried and trusted lineup. So I think he's probably going to look at the Nottingham Forest game, with playing Benny White at right back and Timber at left back, and I think that's probably how he's going to go in Europe, even though Lewis Skelly's eligible. But to be honest, Dan, I know you like to see us play with a back three. He hasn't played for a back three since the 21-22 season.
Since he won a trophy.
Yeah, and most importantly as well, he's very married to 4-3-3. It's a marriage, and it's his system, and only certain personnel can play it. And hence the fact that he's probably cheesed off with Calafiori being so bad at left back, because if Calafiori actually played well, Ben White, he'll be able to rest Ben White more for a bit more games.
Yeah, facts. Look, big up to Matty. Thank you for joining, mate. We're not going to be on for too much longer, but I do appreciate you coming on, man. Look, I want to quickly say, please like and subscribe. There's been well over 2.5k for the majority of this stream, which is mad numbers. So please do me a favor, hit the like and the subscribe. We're literally 48 away from 34k. So let's get 34k tonight, people. Literally 48 of you to hit subscribe, and we do it. We make sure that we hit 34k. So big up to every single one of you. I really appreciate that. There's a load of super chats I'm going to read after I've spoken to Matty and get his thoughts on the game. Matty, welcome. What'd you make of tomorrow night, bruv?
I don't even see it being close. Not at all. This is going to be a free fall. It's just a matter of how much bloodletting is going to happen here. We have nobody that can score a goal. I want y'all to just think about how bad it is. Because, see, on the surface, we're used to dealing with this in April, May. We're dealing with it in February, as DJB would say. We're dealing with it in February. There is going to be a lot of pain.
Yeah.
We're going to get receipt after receipt after receipt after receipt because we did not do what we were supposed to do. Tomorrow, I watched Newcastle and Forest this weekend. Forest was down 4-1. McKinney, we were talking about it in our chat. 4-1. They scored 3 goals at Newcastle. When was the last time Arsenal scored 3 goals at Newcastle?
Yeah. Have we even scored 3 goals in the last 3 seasons there?
One goal a season. One goal a season for the last 3 years.
Last time we scored 3 was in 21 during lockdown season.
21. Yep, 21. Yeah. Excuse me, I'm thinking shots. 3 shots in 3 years. That's all we've had.
Yeah. That's all we've had. They know how to play us, Newcastle. They got our number.
Yeah. So if Forest and it was getting tight there towards the end. If Forest can almost get a draw against Newcastle, and we've been turned over by Newcastle, then what does that bode for you? And we're playing them at home. So guess what that is, JB, Kenny, Dan? Guess what that is tomorrow? That's more pressure on Odegaard tomorrow.
Yes.
That's more pressure on Odegaard and the manager tomorrow.
And that place rocks on a Wednesday night. He'll go and miss it even further.
Yeah.
We're not winning that game tomorrow.
And it's a tight ground as well. The crowd are right on top of you.
It's an intimidating little place to play football.
Yeah. And they're a very good team as well. You know what I mean? And
I've got,
that's
as
what
I said, I the minimum a draw, but I can't honestly say we're going to win that game. I wasn't. I didn't say we'd win against West Ham. I thought that'd be a draw.
I don't see. I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. I sat around yesterday after we got through with the show, fellas, with Lee, and I looked at that schedule. I'm trying to find where the wins coming from. I'm trying to find where the wins are coming from. There are no guaranteed wins for the rest of this season.
The dog.
There's none. Zero. Zilch from nowhere. Because
Southampton, the end of the last game of the season, Southampton. So we're definitely going to win that one. Because
that's what we say. Hey, Kenny, that's what we said when we was 8 points ahead.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, there's some London derbies there, Matty, that we've had the first London derby, which is West Ham. They reversed the result. Obviously not by the exact score, but they've actually reversed the result and beaten us. The next game at home is Chelsea. Then after Chelsea, we got, I believe we have Fulham. And then after Fulham, it's Brentford and Crystal Palace. And they're all competitive games, and they're all going to be games on it. Crystal Palace got Mateta, who can't stop scoring. Brentford, we were talking about strikers. Well, what's it? And Bremer's got 15 goals. Wizard's got 12.
That's crazy.
Ain't that crazy? 15.
Chris Wood's nearly on 20 goals. I wanted him at Burnley. I'll swap him for Lacazette. I said that on my channel. I got laughed out of town.
Sorry, guys, can I just come in? I've just looked at the fixtures there and picking up on what Matty's just said about, and I believe out the next 13 games, we'd be lucky to win 7 of them.
I got 6 at most. That's at most.
You got to remember these teams that we're playing now, like the likes of Fulham and Brentford and teams like that. They're in and around European spots. They've got points to play for. Their season's not done. On their level, their season's not done. So they're going to be tough games because they can get into Europe either by conference, Europa, or even, if you look at the league table, I don't know if Dan can get it up, but if you look at the league table, I mean, they're even got like Champions League. So, I mean, there's points for these clubs to play for. Now,
they're derbies as well.
And they're derbies. So...
And they all want to stop us fucking getting into Europe or doing this and that.
It comes down, guys, to pressure games. It comes down to pressure games.
London clubs want to stop us doing everything.
Look, there they are. There they are, guys. Look, so we've got to play Forest tomorrow. We've got Chelsea, who will believe that they can catch us.
They're going to have a revitalization after the night because the heat is turned up now.
And we've got Newcastle. We've got Newcastle to play as well.
And we've got Bournemouth.
Bournemouth as well. That's going to be interesting.
If we go down even further, we've also got Fulham. And Fulham are on 42. Yeah, look. There they go. Look. Fulham are on 42.
We've got Brentford and Palace as well.
Yeah. So Fulham are on.
The King of Zamunda scored tonight.
He scored tonight. Yes, he did. He got a goal.
Yeah. And Nketiah scored as well.
It's the psychological part of it as well. Like we know we can't win the league. So what's the attitude going to be? Are we going to be at it in all the games, knowing psychologically this is the third time it's happened?
Yeah, but this is
even though we haven't been a title race, what is the mentality going to be like? Because Arteta's talks up the players and said, "Look, over my dead body." He has to get the players believing that.
But that's like what Dan said earlier. That's what you're supposed to be saying in January and December. You're supposed to be talking like that back then. He's talking about it now after the title's been pissed away. That's him. That press conference today. I've seen this before in America. When these managers go on these tirades and they just talking just to be talking towards the end, the walls are closing in. He knows that he's completely botched it this time. Because this year was supposed to be the year. They said we're gonna take care of City. Liverpool's gonna be a non-factor. We're gonna come back. He ran it back. He gambled. He said, "I don't need anybody. We're gonna roll it back." And now he's sitting there talking about over my dead body. He should when they came to him, Dan, Lee, JB, and Kenny, when they were sitting in the meeting, whatever day they had the meeting, and they were sitting there with coffee and donuts and all that stuff, and they were talking about Raheem Sterling, somebody should have stood up and said, "Over my dead body." That's when that should have been said. Over my dead body.
No, it's facts. That is facts,
100%.
honestly.
100%.
It's facts.
100%. That's when they should have
It's
stood
too
up.
late with this manager. It's excuse after excuse.
Yeah, but it's all done by design, lads. Yeah, he knows that he's got the majority of the fan base on side. Yeah, because let's be real, we're a tiny, minuscule percentage of the global fan base, local and global fan base that want this guy gone and call out his deficiencies and all the BS. Yeah, we're probably, I'd say, probably 10% out of our fans globally. Now at the ground, it's probably about 1%. And like you, DJ, oh yeah, you go down the Spurs, mate. Go down the Spurs. Look at Dan. You were there. The geezer. Oh yeah, fuck off the Spurs. I've never got that, by the way. You want Arsenal to win, but now go. Oh, why don't you fuck off the Spurs who don't win, bruv? You're more suited to them than we are. Like the real talk.
He told me I was sounding like a Tottenham fan. He told me that success is not about trophies, and why would I prefer George Graham 1-0 wins and trophies when you can be entertained by Mikel Arteta? I mean, no,
you didn't know the geezer, but if you had known at the time, yeah, you could have said to him, "Well, weren't you there when George Graham won the title at 89?"
100%.
Yeah, but you didn't know at the time.
Dan, when I listened to that, and that was like showing disrespect to George Graham's team, that's what done me one of the greatest managers. Well,
yeah, but DJ, the club showed disrespect to him. He ain't got a statue, bruv.
They don't even recognize him.
They don't.
I needed Kenny with me, but Kenny had run off. You know what I mean? So he's gone already.
No, you know what, Dan?
Why are you running?
Dan, I'm not really funny, right? That shouldn't. When this is where I come from. If you're going to interview someone, don't allow and bring someone in because that's disrespectful. I'm sorry, that's disrespectful. It's your interview. You're putting yourself out there. And the good thing he does is he gives you every minute and every second of what you say. He puts up. But you shouldn't just let some Johnny come lately.
No. That's actually factually incorrect. That's factually incorrect.
All right. Yeah. All right. Sometimes I do, but from what I saw, there was nothing was cut out. That guy should not have been allowed to join your interview. He should have been given his own platform to have his own interview, because at the end of the day, he was repeating himself and saying blah 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 blah. And I was thinking, well, hang on in, mate. You're trying to talk about the difference between a striker and a goal scorer. Well, you repeat yourself 10 times, and not only did I get confused, I think he confused himself half the time because he didn't have anything different to say. But to be honest, that's the level of fan we do have. But the problem we've got with the fans at back, Mikel, you know what it is, Lee? They've been let into the club in terms of like they've attended press conferences, they've been allowed on the tours.
Live at N5.
Yeah, live at N5.
No, VIP smiling like a Cheshire cat after we've been panned by West Ham.
Yeah, I'm not too funny. I'm not trying to be hot, rude or not. They'll be absolutely morons and ungrateful ingrates if they say anything against the club. You have to be, because you can't. If you've got these sort of like ambitions, and you've been allowed into the bosom of the club, and the club has shown you what you want to see, and you see something you like.
Yeah, but this is why they all do it, Kenny. Kenny, you know a certain guy. I'll put it in the private chat right now. This guy's name. You know this guy. He's been to home and away games. He still goes. He used to write for The Sun, yeah? I'll put his name in the chat right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah? That guy right there in the private chat. Bro, I know factually that guy goes home and away. I know his name. I'm not going to put it out on
very well, yeah.
Yeah. I know the guy. I wouldn't say I've met the guy. I've seen him at games. Yeah. That guy chats absolute shit. Why? Because he's looking for the gig. Yeah. Same as other people. And then when they see somebody like Canton, yeah, and I know Dan's mates with him, so I ain't going to go to it's your channel, Dan. Yeah. But when they see him, and fair play to Canton, yeah, he didn't like his job. I didn't like my job. That's why I started doing this. I didn't like fair play to him. Fair play.
He
fair play. He's got what he put his nuts on the table, Kenny. Yeah. Right. But at the same time, as soon as you get your foot in the door, I can't take you seriously anymore, because now you're not going to say what you really want to say. Yeah. And they'll do it in a posh, condescending, go skirting around the houses way. Whereas I have no filter. This is my channel. I'm not looking for a gig at the club. I don't care. Yeah, none of you guys are. Yeah, we're not looking for the gig at the club. As soon as somebody gets their foot in the door, yeah, and now getting the interviews or the press conferences, or they're getting a VIP live on M5. This is why they see these other people that sit on in there. They see certain other faces get this gig, and they go, if I keep being positive about the club, that's my way in. Yeah, they're lying. And we've got millions of them in our fan base, unfortunately. So when we're pushing against the tide, yeah, we're seen as toxic and negative. Yardman's coming on my channel on Thursday night. Yeah, he'd text Dave and said, Dave, you got Gunner's number? I want to go on his channel because I'm fed up of the channels that keep going on the chat crap. Yeah, I text Dave back. Yeah, I said, send him my number. Yeah, we've arranged the time. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, real talk, yeah. There's so many of us that have a voice, but the problem is on certain channels, you get ridiculed for that voice. Yeah. Julian, stay humble. Listen, I don't know the guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Kenny, you've met him.
He's a lovely lad. He's a lovely man.
Same as a gal, same as Harry and all that. But man's got to stay humble. Then he's saying, well, we mustn't forget, yeah, that the Queen died and we were in form, yeah, and Man City were out of form. Not one person around him questioned it. But when Yardman's going, I've had enough, they're all trying to take his hat off. They're trying to push him. They're trying to jump in. Like, and my man's saying, letting it go on. But when my man's saying the Queen died, not one person piped up. Bro, it's a cult. Yeah, and this is a bigger cult than the Wenger cult. And we've been there at the Wenger cult. This is a bigger cult because they try to dismiss your opinions. Yeah. Yes, I drink on camera. Yes, I smoke on camera. Yeah. Troops is stoned on camera. Oh, he's stoned. He's high. Yeah. Oh, he's high. Oh, Gunner's drunk again. No. You guys go to games. You top three go to games. The atmosphere in the ground's been shit all season. You've told us that every single week we speak to each other, every single day. We speak every day. Yeah. Other people that go have said it's been shit. Why? Because realization's kicking in, but they desperately want this man to be another Arsene. He's not Arsene, bruv.
They want to succeed.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? The thing about it and what's crazy is that they don't even realize that you probably could move this man out and we get the next Arsenal. That's the thing about it. They don't even.
They're scared to go from a title challenge to sixth again. Yeah, because they think that that's the regression, bro. Nobody cares about sixth. Yeah, if you win the Europa League, yeah, or you are in the Champions League after finishing second, get rid of him at the end of the season. Let's say we finish top four, yeah, we qualify, right? Then we get rid of him or he walks at the end of the season. We then finish 6th or 8th or 12th. But the next manager who finished in that position then goes and wins the champs. Do you think they care? No. Oh, we've won the biggies. The league finish is irrelevant unless you win a trophy.
Yeah, but
when you don't win a trophy, it's now relevant.
Yeah, but it's been done before. Liverpool did it in 2004.
Chelsea come on.
Gerard Houllier finished 4th in 2004. They sacked Gerard Houllier, got Rafa in, and the next season he won a Champions League.
Thanks. Well, they got rid of Brendan Rodgers. What happened after that? Yeah, we got rid of George Graham and we got Wenger. In the first 5 years, he done 2 doubles.
The other problem is as well, what a lot of these fans don't realise, the longer he stays, the more long-term damage to this club it's going to cause.
Right there.
Yeah.
Because the recovery will be even longer.
And they don't back the next man, bro. The fans will not back him.
The rebuild will be bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So the longer this man stays, the more effect long-term it will have on this club. And instead of having the next manager coming in and picking up this, and this, he will have to pick up 6-7 years of crap. Yeah. Players going out the door, no money, fan base disjointed, and we'd have to start all over again.
This wage bill that we had that's piled on. We got players that we can't move, can't sell.
No,
we got to loan everybody.
We are moving. A mess, bro. The wage bills are disgusting.
It's outrageous. The amount of money some of these players are on, and that's what
disgrace.
when they came in, what did they tell us? What did they say? They said we're gonna come in, we're not gonna have these problems. Players not running down contracts. We're not if they don't want to resign, we're getting rid of them. We're moving them out the door. And what happened? We loaded up the wage contract. It's worse. You're signing people on the crazy wages. Me and Guns was talking about this Sunday, and I told him, I said the reason why most of these players are on astronomical wages is because that was the only way you could convince some of them to even sign for the club.
We ain't got the pool.
The situation we was in. We don't have the pool.
Man United have the pool. Man United could get Pogba, Ibra, CR7, Varane, Casemiro, whether they're in Champions League or not. They get these, man. What are we getting? Yeah, we're getting fucking Declan Rice for 105 mil when we're fucking what? Declan Rice,
Marino, Calafiore, Kivior,
Zinchenko.
Yeah, but these players were all at the time. The fans should have just calmed themselves down when we got Jesus and Zinchenko. They should have just seen the fish thing and said and realised we're getting squad players. The reason why I say that is because when you look at that side, that Man City side, the one on the title in 2022, respectfully, Jesus was not the first choice in that team. Zinchenko wasn't the first choice. There were stalwarts, good stalwarts, club players, and they come to Arsenal. For people to say that they improved the mentality of our squad is so wrong. They didn't. Yeah. The same, and the thing with Declan Rice, we have a conundrum with Declan. And I know I was going on about it. Something's wrong.
You really don't like Declan, do you? This is like a Cesc agenda.
No, it's not personal.
You don't like him.
Just say you don't like him. It's like Martinelli. Hey, Martinelli and Declan, you don't like him, bro.
No, it's footballing reasons because I think with Declan Rice,
like that with Trossard.
The thing with Declan Rice, I know people like Declan Rice. He plays really well for us, and that is the most saddest thing.
Until it matters.
Yeah, but no, it's not even a case until it matters. He's so wrong for the way we play. If you look at the way we played in 2023, and then you look at the situation last season where he was a qualified success, now in his second season, we look lopsided with him in the team because we wanted to be a number 6, but the number 6 position has changed. It's now CDM. It's not the called Mikel's position it was 20 years ago. Kante has completely changed the way we play. So if you have it at number 6, you're going to find that there's certain things you're going to expect for a number 6, which you're not going to see for him. So you say the number 6 is his right position, but the problem is he's not the number 6 we need in that system. So you play at number 8, and it's a qualified success. But what you see is he's very good at set pieces, and he can run all day. But your midfielders have to run the game. They have to be the boss. When was the last time? Tell me when Declan Rice has played a decent through ball and bossed the game. I've never seen him do it once for us. When was the last time you saw Declan Rice, get the ball in half turn and get people out the field and link with Odegaard? I've never seen it once. So either I'm blind, prejudice, or I may be right.
Well, look, let's read some super chats before we start to come to wrapping this up.
Get your super chats in, guys. Get your super chats in.
Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Still not at 34k, people. Come on, what are you doing? You're moving mad. You're moving slower than us.
How many are you away?
I'm literally. What are we? Come on, computer. I'm 30 away, people. Come on.
30 subs. Come on. How many people are watching?
34k. Come on. We've got 2.1k still, nearly 2.2. Come on, people. I'm sure we can get to 34k. Come on. And he just says, I'm struggling to find a team in the Premier League with a forward line worse than ours at the moment. Too much experience expected out of players. They run into the ground. Cheap mentality owners. 4 competitions to go with injuries up top and no inputs. Me and Judges did a stream the other day and we went through it in the Premier League. And we said that Leicester, although they have still got Vardy, Southampton, Fulham, I think it was, and Man United were the only 4. Might have got that wrong about Fulham, but the others are all
Fulham actually have a guy up front, not Munoz. Yeah, Jimenez. Look at the way he played against us when we played. He played us off the park. That was a masterclass in hold-up play and link play. Yeah, and that guy shouldn't even be on the football pitch after his brain injury.
Yeah.
He shouldn't even be playing football, bro. Yeah.
What's even funnier, Guns, is I watched tonight. I picked out of all the games. I picked the best one, man, which was Brighton Bournemouth. It was such a good game, man.
No, you didn't. You missed the Atleti game, the Barca.
Oh, no, that was on before. That was on before, bro. That one. I was in the Premier League game. So I had all of them to pick, and I thought, what one should I pick? I'll tell you what will be a good game. Brighton Bournemouth. And that boy Welbs again, man. Come on.
All right,
He'll be
well, I did
starting
tell
for us.
everyone about Welbeck. Yeah, I was
Welbeck,
laughed out of town.
Mate, 34 years old, and he started for Man United and Arsenal. It's absolutely great, ludicrous. At the start of the season, how many Liverpool players were you taking? I'm sure you weren't taking many. Gunn said this. Could it be that Liverpool's performing so well be down to the manager? The team is the same. Yeah, do you know what?
The majority of the fan base would have took 2. Yeah, but McAllister walks in our team. Yeah, he's a baller,
McAllister
bro.
is one of the
He's
best
in my opinion, he's their best player.
Oh, he's so good, bruv. He's good.
Unreal, mate. Yeah, he is so unbelievably gifted. Yeah, right. 35 mil, bro.
So underrated, bro. So underrated.
And we spent 65 on a German giraffe and 38 on Marino.
If you was to run
35 on fucking Vieira. Sorry,
the manager's playing him properly. The manager's managing McAllister properly. He ain't done a lot. He's just tweaked a few little things here and there.
He's got that midfield trio
Look what he's done with Curtis Jones as well.
Even Zabozlai, man, in the last few has been even better. I'm not really a fan of him, but he's been really balling out.
I mean, but then you got Arsenal fans saying, yeah, but if it ain't the salary, no, that's disrespecting what Liverpool's done this season. You know,
I totally agree, mate. I think people are done.
You know, if you watch football, watch what that manager's done with Liverpool. In certain games, he's completely changed the style of play in certain games to get a result.
I mentioned this earlier this season. I mentioned it earlier. I said, I told me and Kenny talked about this too, is that when up on the clock, they will be playing 1,000 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So by the time we get to this end of the season, they're out of gas. They're capitulating. It's downward spiral. He's conserved everything.
Yeah.
So when they need to unleash, they unleash, and then they go right back to the same.
And then they've got Mo Salah not running around like a crackhead.
Yeah,
because he can't do it anymore. Yeah, and guess what? Soon as Salah, sees an opportunity, it's like Messi now. He's walking. Yeah, but he sees the whole picture before it unfolds.
100%.
Yeah, and then, oh shit. Dark arts off a corner. Why is he unmarked on a penalty spot, brother, against Man City? Yeah. Oh, Salah stat padded again. Yeah. Even I take the piss to say stat pad. No, that was a sick corner routine. They ain't even got a set piece coach, by the way. No set piece coach.
Mate, love that, mate. Love
Mate,
that.
that's
No,
do you know the last time we scored a set piece? Yeah, it was against Fulham in December.
Oh wow, it was.
Somebody put it in my chat earlier.
Dan, you were there, weren't you?
I was there with you, mate.
Fulham in December. We're
nearly
in March, mate.
Hey Dan, do you remember the Chelsea when I bought that? That when I went to KFC and I bought that something that you thought was very childish. Remember that?
I'll never forget that, my bro. That was the funniest thing I've seen, man. I was like, I think Kenny might be drinking a mint Oreo, a mint Aero. Drink it.
You know what, fellas? The thing that's thrown a lot of people for a loop, man, is when they look at Liverpool, they're like, well, how's this happening? Brother, they were sitting in the Carabao Cup with the kids last year.
They beat us.
They beat us with the kids.
They were bringing on kids against us and said, fuck these, man, in the FA Cup.
With the kids, with
the kids.
FA Cup, they said, what, you got a youth project? Yeah, cool. We'll bring the kids.
We'll show you a youth project.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it gets back to my point. The longer we leave this situation, the long-term more damage it's going to do to the club. Because our young talent is going to leave, and we're going to lose all our assets and everything.
But
one sec, Ken. Let me just read. I'm never going to get through these otherwise, and I need to because they've paid some money. There's some good questions in here. Suge, Suge, big up to you, man. I asked this in another stream. I'm intrigued based on this year's performance outside of maybe Raya. Who would make the team of the season? None of our players, mate. Gabriel's the only one that could.
Gabriel ain't making team of the season. Although he's been great, he's been very good for us. I'd say he's actually been our best player this season.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Saka, you can always put Saka in there because of the output and But for me, Gabriel, defensively, he's been sick. Attacking, yeah, bro, this guy actually gets it. He should be our captain. That's the only player that I would hold my hands up and go, yo, Bozo Gene, I called him. Yeah, he should be our captain.
But to me, the reason why Gabriel won't be captain, because he's probably the only one that would stand up to Arteta and probably have a tear up with him.
Yeah,
and
you can bring the fucking, and you can. We'll have a tear up in here, and you can bring.
He has though. He has though.
He
has actually done that though. Remember the first few games of last season. He was left. He was he was benched because there was an argument, and he had to apologise to the manager.
That's the sort of manager he is. He benched him because he fell out with him.
He's leaving in the summer or next summer,
anyway. and that's when he put Partey right back against Fulham, and we drew, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
but you know something about Mikel, and it's not. If we take away our personal opinions about Mikel Arteta, do you know that he's one of the longest-serving managers in the league? In that
second,
the second. But if you look at the managers we have right now in European football, the only managers that have been here over 6 or 7 years is Simeone and Guardiola. All the rest of the managers, even the ones who win, they tend to either move on or get moved on because he's actually. And you think about Mikel Arteta, he's had all this time, nearly 6 years in December, without actually winning anything, only one trophy. So, in essence, forget the fact that we think he's bad, he's not good enough. His actual shelf life, he's had his shelf life, and on that basis, he should be moved on anyway because you can't have in modern football, you can't have a manager for that length of time anyway, whether you win trophies or not. So, really and truly, the Cronkies are dropping the ball here when they're not trying to freshen it up. Let's face it, we're relatively quite strong. If you look at the two league positions, so we're relatively strong. Surely the players need a different voice.
But Kenny, this is where we're in it. This is where we're in the sipping point now. Yeah, because we're going to go to Anfield and give them a guard of honor for the second time, by the way, under this manager. Because we gave them a guard of honor in lockdown. When Klopp won the league. Under this manager. Now, different players, cool. Martinelli was still here. Saka was still here. Yeah, let's be real with it. Now they've got to go to Anfield. Yeah, now they're going international duty. Saliba's going France. They've seen Camavinga and Mbappe, and they've won everything. Yeah, now Gabriel's going to see Rodrigo and Vinny. They've won everything. Now Saka's going to England. He's seen Jude win everything and Foden win everything. Yeah, bro, we're done. We're dusted. We're finished. It's done. The process has failed. Yeah, it's failed.
100%.
The process has succeeded for the Cronkies. They got top 4, mate.
Yeah, they got top dollar.
But that's what they wanted, Dan. And we all know this because we've seen this before under Arsenal. Yeah, and they pay him the most money in world football when Jose, Pep, Klopp, Fergie were all managing. Why was Arsene Wenger the highest paid manager? Shield, keep your mouth shut. Why they paid this guy? Shield, keep your mouth shut. Yeah, this guy is on 3 times more money than Inzaghi and nearly double Ancelotti, bruv. Fucking do me a favour.
Bro, it's mad.
Man said LB raid.
But yeah, big up to LB for the raid. Looks like he's raided us, man. Big up to you, bro. Really appreciate that, man. Absolute legend. Make sure you go follow It's LB. Look, the last couple of super chats are coming in from here, which is actually quite good questions. So I'll put this to the panel. I'll read them both together. So there's 2. Do you think that Arteta would actually compete for the Premier League and Champions League if our squad had proper depth in key areas going into the season or even the second half of the season? Overall, we're set up well to compete if we can keep our squad together and bring in top talent to fill the gaps. It doesn't necessarily have to be under Arteta, but in my opinion, he has 1 season to get it done. Let's come to you. Go on, Kenny.
He's had his time. As I said before, the cycle of a manager, he's let's just say, if you want to use it in sort of like cordial terms, he's actually outlived his utility. He's outlived his welcome as well, to the fact that he's had a good run. He's had plenty of money to spend. He's got us in the chat. He's had 2 seasons of competing in the Champions League. He's had 3 years, 2 years where he's competed for the league. This year, he's had a big fall off. I think he's been given enough chances. Yeah. I do think that let's just go to our cousins in Merseyside, Liverpool. When Klopp left, Salah and all those players could have just gone and said, you know what, we're going with him, but they stayed, and that they had foundations to take him to that next level. And what Slot's done is remarkable, but if you use your football brain rather than being part of this sort of like, you know, Alice in Wonderland bullshit, you actually see and look, hang on here, Salah's world class, Van Dijk's world class, Trent Alexander-Arnold can't defend, but from an attacking point of view, he's world class. Kanate is a top player. Robertson is a top player, and they've won trophies. So the foundations are there for it to work with. And I'm saying, with our experience, a challenge for the title, albeit unsuccessful, if we do keep those players, then what's stopping another manager with better experience who and is tactically flexible from getting us over the line? It's being done with Slot, so why can't it be done with us?
Yeah, true. No, I think his time's done, because I look at the players that we've got now, and all I'm seeing is players not improving. He's not improving the players. And if new player, my biggest worry with this guy, if more money is spent and players come in, I can see the same happening further down the line. If you look at players,
which players do you think he's actually improved though, out of the current crop? Forget Calafiori because he's just joined. Yeah, Timber. Yeah, we don't know because he got injured straight away. Yeah, the ones that have been here for a while, who do you think has improved?
The ones that there, all I've seen an improvement of probably this season is Gabriel Magalhaes.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
I think Martinelli's fallen off. Trossard's in and out. He's not really improved. I think I've seen him play brilliant at Brighton when he was at Brighton. I've seen glimpses of him, but I've not really seen that. I don't think he's improved Declan Rice. He tried to get a tune out of Jesus. We was all told that he's worked with Jesus. That's why he signed him. He's worked with him at Man City. He's coached him. Jesus come in. He ain't really done anything. Sinchenko, we was told that he was another player that he's worked with, and he can get a tune out of him. He's played him at left back. He won't even try him in midfield. He hasn't really improved him. So the answer to that question is no. I can't see it, guys. I just cannot see this manager moving this club on any further of whatever squad of players he gets in. And let's say he signs a big signing in the summer. You know.
Yeah, but even if he let's say he signs, right, let's say we go and do 250. Yeah, we sign Isak for 150, Zubi for 50. There's 200, and we get Nico Williams. This fan base will fucking be gushing. Wet floor signs everywhere, right? We ain't signing any of them, by the way, right? We ain't signing any of them. But let's say we do. Hypothetically, let's live in Disneyland, like in fairy tale.
Hang on
let's
a minute,
say we do.
David Ornstein told me we're signing Zubimendi.
David Ornstein said that we weren't signing anyone, and then we signed Danny Welbeck an hour later. Yeah, David Ornstein said we weren't signing Pepe, he then rocks up. David Ornstein said we weren't signing anyone, then Sterling rocks up. David Ornstein, I'm still waiting for Nuri Sahin on loan, mate. Yeah, David Ornstein is a fraud. Yeah, there's a reason that guy is allowed to tweet out 1 minute before the official club accounts, yeah, an announcement video or an announcement tweet saying that we've signed a player. 1 minute later, bang, Arsenal tweet out. Why? Because he can interview Josh Kroenke because he's a good little puppet. He is the biggest brown envelope in the media. Yeah. Oh, I've had to fight my way to the top because I'm not very educated. I never had an education. Really? You went Brighton Uni, mate. Yeah, you got a degree at Brighton Uni. Stop waffling. Right? But let's be real. Let's say he signs Isak, Zubi, yeah, and Nico Williams. He still won't win the league. Then what? No. Where's the excuses then?
So that was my next question, right, to you guys, right? Because I know we need to wrap up. But I wanted to ask this because I think it's important. He's staying, right? We all know he's staying. None of us want him to, but for now he's staying. So this is my question, Guns, right? And I don't mind who comes in on this. He stays next season. Same old story, same old movie. do the fans then wake up and want him out, or are we stuck with him for another year because it was more excuses coming? That's what I wanted to know.
5 more years, mate. 5 more years.
Stuck
We're
with
stuck
him.
with him.
I'm gonna tell y'all what I think is gonna happen. Now, Lee already knows
Mm.
what I'm about to say. I'm gonna tell you what I think is gonna happen. And everybody keeps thinking he's coming back next year. I told Lee, I told Kenny, I might have even told JB. I think he's walking away this year because
Too arrogant, mate.
the butt whoopings that we're about to get ready to get.
Me and Matt have been talking about this, been agreed on this. That he's gonna
He's
walk.
too
He says-
arrogant. He ain't walking. He's on 15 M's. Who's paying him 15 M's? It's double Ancelotti. 3 times in
Where's he
Zaghi.
walking to? Where's he walking to?
He's getting paid 15 million fucking quid. Who's paying him that?
He's going home. He's going home.
What Sociedad?
He's going to go sit down at his house.
He's going home.
I
fucking love you, bro.
And he's going to cut on his TV. He's going to watch reruns of Andy Griffith or whatever he decides he wants to watch.
He's going to watch reruns of Premier League.
He's going to watch Premier League with the old lion logo. You know, the triangle. He's going to watch.
I would respect him if he did this, but I don't think he will.
Too arrogant, mate.
I really can't see him walking.
Hey, that's my point. It's better for his career if he walks at the end of the season and says, "I've set."
I think so.
And they can keep the facade going that it was the Cronkies.
Yeah,
which is what Faz said yesterday. Was it Faz? Yeah, I think it was Faz. I can't remember. I've done so many streams. That if Ten Hag at the end of last season, after he won the FA Cup, and said, "Yo, I'm leaving," yeah, slyly dig out the ownership, the Glazers. I'm leaving. Boom, 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 boom. Thanks very much. And then you leave, and then you go, "Oh, okay. Well, Ronaldo's called him out. Jose's called him out. Yeah, Ragnick called him out. Now he's won 2 trophies. See you later. He would have had a job by now."
Fellas, if he comes out, let's say he comes out next month sometime towards the end of next month, and we get breaking news, Mikel will not be returning, and then it's announced, our fan base will lap it up. You saw what they did with Shaka. Oh yeah, let's go. Yeah, Super Nick Arteta. Mercy Arteta. Mercy Arteta. Our fan base would eat it up. I'm telling you, he can make out like a bandit. Do you know how big? How
make out like a bandit, mate? Some of your one-liners kill me. I swear.
How smooth he could get out of this, man. It would, and then he could set himself up for another gig. He could set himself up for another gig. Well,
I think you're right. Yeah,
but I'm telling you, this joker here, he is a wordsmith. He's slick. He's also already said he thought about doing it. So we know once this pressure start mounting, because we think about this, y'all, week after week, we start losing again. We lose. Let's say we lose tomorrow. Let's say United get us again. Let's say Chelsea get us down the line. Let's say we got to go to Liverpool. That's a loss. You go to Fulham. That's a loss. Man, the pressure is going to be on top of him this year, like he hadn't seen since when he first got here. That second season, when we finished 8th, the second season, and I'm telling you, this man is going to turn around and say, "You know what? I think I'm gonna put in my resignation." Old Josh should say, "Well, you defended us this far. We'll get you a little. We'll send you a little envelope. Don't tell nobody. Well, here go your little pay packet. We'll give you about 9 million, and then you out of here."
Okay, listen to this. Yeah, listen to this, mate. We've spoke about this. All right, listen to this. This was after the Everton game last season. Yeah.
Now it's time to have a break. Think, reflect. And please keep pushing, keep inspiring this team. Don't be satisfied because we want much more than that. We're going to get it. Thank you so much.
Don't be satisfied.
Don't be satisfied. But then when we're not satisfied, we're negative and we're scumbags. Much more than what? Bro, you've won 1 trophy in 5 years. Much more than what?
This is what I can't understand about this guy. He's given all that speech about don't be satisfied, we won't rest, blah, blah, blah. But we're not satisfied. We're coming out and saying we're not satisfied. So why are we toxic?
Well, we're toxic because we're against the majority. You always remember the majority is always right, even when they're wrong.
You know?
And therein lies the problem. But
it's the same. It's the same with like Dan was saying it earlier about the like Cronkies and all of this. Right, get it out there. I'm not Cronky fan and yeah, I know we've got problems with the owners and everything else, but the fact of the matter is, this guy has had 700+ million pounds given by the owners. Whether you like the Cronkies or not, whether the Cronkies are doing a good job or not, this guy has had over 700 million pounds. And people are turning around to me and saying, oh, yeah, but I feel sorry for Mikel because in January, the board's not backed him. The board's not backed him. They've backed him. He's wasted the money. It's like me saying to someone, go and buy me 3 houses. I know nothing about houses. Go and buy me 3 houses. There's £5 million. Go buy me 3 houses. Guy goes and buys me 3 houses and they fall down after a week. I ain't going to give him another £5 million and say, go buy me some more. He's had the money.
That's how he can resign, though.
He's wasted it. But now the spin, now to sort of cover up from Arteta, you've got a lot of fan base saying, oh, he ain't really been backed, and he tried in January, but he couldn't get a striker, and he tried this and he couldn't get this, he couldn't get that. He's had it. He's had plenty of opportunities to make his team compete and not be 11 points behind Liverpool in February. He's had countless of opportunities. And
you know, DJ, but if I was Mikel Arteta and I was resigning, you know what I'd do? And I wanted to finesse the fan base and get them on side. I said, oh, this season I was trying to go for the title. And last season, they wouldn't give me any money. They made me sell this player and that player. And that's why I can't get – that's why we didn't win this season. If I was him, I'd be trying it. I'd be coming out with all of
He's saving it.
He's doing what he can to win it.
He's saving it for when he walks. I'm telling you, he's saving it for when he walks. He's saving it. I'm telling you, people are like, oh, man, he ain't walking away. I'm telling you.
He's not, Matty, we've had arguments over this. He's not walking away, bro.
Lee, if this was in April and all this was going on, I'll be right there with you.
He's not walking, Matt. Where is he going to get another job getting paid 15 M's a year?
He's going to go home. I'm telling you, he's going home.
He's going to go home and then retire like Zidane.
No, he's going to take a year off.
No, he's not taking a year off, Matty. His ego's too big.
I'll take a punt on Zidane. You got to get him in.
Matty, his ego's too big. Yeah, he is. And we had this conversation on the pod and on phone. Yeah, I don't think the Cronkies have told Wenger or him, yo, we're not going to do this, but we're going to do this, and we'll pay you this if you keep your mouth shut and be a shield for us. I don't think the Cronkies have told either manager this, by the way. Yeah. No. However, when you're failing, and then they give you a pay rise, and now you're the highest paid manager like Wenger in the world of football, when Jose's at his prime, Fergie's in his prime, yeah, you got Pep up there in his prime, yeah, and you've got, who was the other one? You had Jose, Pep, Ancelotti. Yeah, you still got Conte floating around doing this thing, yeah, and Wenger's getting paid more than all of them.
Yeah.
Now, naturally, you're going to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Well, there was nobody available. Why'd you look at me? Because it's your fucking press conference, Arsene. Now, you've given this guy, because you've marketed him so well, you've packaged it so well, you got the mural of the set-piece coach outside the flipping in the tunnel. Yeah? You got the win the dog. Like, why have we even got a dog, bruv? Yeah? Like, come on. Why is it called win? Yeah? Let's be real. Yeah, you've done duck and rabbit. What do you see, guys? Light bulbs, Anfield speakers. Yeah, you've done. How does it feel when you walk out of the Emirates? Can you imagine Luka Modric? You'd look at Ancelotti and go, "Fuck off, mate." Yeah, Ancelotti,
mate. Don't forget that one. Pickpocketing.
Yeah, well, bless up my missus, mates. All the Romanian G's that are pickpocketing on Tower Bridge. You know what I mean?
Remember?
Yeah,
we have winter breaks because we've been the FA Cup.
Yeah. The whole thing's been a shit show, but the way they've packaged it, the way they've marketed it, they can't go back on that now. I'm supposed to believe, and I see Goldbitch put a tweet out, and I quoted him. Arsenal gave up on the title in January because they didn't back the manager with a striker. I can't believe they folded. This is a Man United Forest fan, whatever he is, yeah? With a 2 million sub channel and now million sub channel. Right, but this is a Man United / Forest fan, whatever he is. Yeah, he's just a finesser. Yeah, but anyway, the point is, I'm supposed to believe that this guy has been told, "Yo, You can sign for Arsenal. The fan base lap it up. Oh, it's super duper me. Why? Because they finessed it and they packaged it better than Unai, right? Cool. He was the captain that ended the trophy drought. So straight away, you've got an affiliation to him because you were in that era. Yeah. So the younguns, that ain't seen a league title straight away gravitate to Arteta. They ain't got no affiliation to Unai. So straight away, 2004, straight away, yo, he was our captain. Bro, that's 11 years ago. So if you're 25, you was 11, right? Now, he gets the trophy. Yeah, fair play. He won it in 6 months. What formation? Oh, 3 at the back. Okay, cool. How many times has he played 3 at the back since? Oh, barely ever. Cool. Yeah, cool. Fantastic. Who won the league at 3 at the back, 5 at the back? Oh, Antonio Conte. Okay, fairs. Oh, okay. Who? Oh, okay. So other manager. Okay, cool. Fair enough. But anyway, we'll scrap that. We'll get rid of everyone. Yeah, apart from Kieran Tierney, who started the final. Martinelli and Saka were in. Saka never played, but Martinelli was injured. But we'll get rid of everyone. We'll loan out Saliba again. By the way. Yeah. Well. Listen, we have to feel sorry for Tommy. Yeah, we have to feel sorry for Tommy. Oh, poor Tommy. I feel for him. Yeah, but Kieran Tierney is the enemy of Arsenal.
You only discovered the other month he needed a knee. He's been out all season, Tommy, but only discovered the other month that he needed knee surgery.
A second one. Oh, and then Tommy's putting out there giving it. Oh, no. Man said in the chat, stop lying about Wenger being the highest paid manager. Bro, go and Google it. Yeah, I lived in that era. I don't know about you, Charlie boy. Yeah, he was the highest paid manager in world football, bro. £11.5 million a year. He was getting paid more than everyone. I'm not lying. But anyway,
just quickly, sorry to interrupt you, because I had KT is loved by the fan base. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. Right? Because I said even yesterday that I'd be starting this guy on Wednesday. And all I got in the comments section, because my mate texted me and said, have you seen the comments about Tierney? I said, no, I don't read them anymore. And it was, oh my God, this guy's got a love affair with this player. Man. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, isn't he an Arsenal player? Don't you tell me I'm toxic and negative when I question managers and players. Now I'm loving one. You hate me still.
Yeah, but this was the same. This is the same with Raya. This was the same with Raya. These men were all friends of Aaron, Kenny. Friends of Aaron. Oh, yeah, we were back in Raya saying he's better than. Yeah, Matt, you know this. Yeah,
Dad, were you a friend of Aaron? Were you part of friends of Aaron?
No, I didn't never hate Ramsdale though. I never hated him. I didn't rate Raya when he first come though. I must say that. But
you were friends of Aaron then. You were friends of.
Yeah, I liked Ramsdale. I liked him, but I wasn't like a friend of him. You know what I mean? Like some of them were.
No, you were friends of Aaron.
I did like him.
Yeah, you were a friend of Aaron. Let's stop lying. Did you have a selfie with his old man?
Did I have a what? Sorry,
a selfie with his dad.
I was an Aaron fan. I like
Aaron. No, I knew.
Dad had a selfie. See, he's friends of Aaron, Kenny.
Yeah, I spoke to Nick. I spoke to Nick at Bournemouth away.
Did you have him on the podcast?
And Caroline.
Did you have him on the podcast?
No, they didn't. He wouldn't come on my one. No, he got on Sophie's, not mine.
Okay. So my point is, we backed Tierney, we backed Raya. These men say, "Oh, Tierney's injury prone," but now it's, "Oh, poor Tommy." Where is this guy, bruv? Where's Mason Mount, by the way? Are they living together? Have they disappeared? Is this like Tupac and Biggie? Like, what's going on here?
Champions. That's what I call them, man. Hide and seek champions. They've won.
No, but the point is, my point is, right, these men chat shit. Yeah, they say that we're negative and we're toxic. No, we're factually correct on everything we say. However, it goes against the narrative because the narrative is Ramsdale's the GOAT. Ramsdale's great. But let's not forget, when Ramsdale was linked to Arsenal before it was agreed,
it was
universally the whole fan base didn't want him. Then it was Bomba from Ornstein. Oh, well, he's here now, so we're backing. Then the guy comes out on a podcast with Ian Wright and says, "I can't concentrate."
I see birds
for 90 minutes.
I see birds on the pitch.
Yeah, the pigeon. Yeah, against Southampton away. Yeah. So then, no, it's toxic and negative. The only thing Mikel has done at this football club that I rate, there's a few things there. Number one, I do think he gives a fuck. I think he actually cares. However, when you're getting paid the second highest paid wage in world football, after bottling everything, top 4 title races, so on and so forth, right? Now you're a puppet. And we've seen this previously. And I heard Turkish's fan cam the other day, with Laurie and on his own channel. It's like, and I don't normally watch the Forever Arsenal thing, but I watched it the other day. Yeah. And he was spot on. He said, I've seen it before. Yeah. I've seen it before. Unprecedented summer window. Well, that's a war chest. Yeah. Market opportunity. Well, that's world
To be
class
fair,
players.
Jordan and Turkish spit facts on Forever Arsenal, to be fair.
Well,
Whenever I do watch
you notice he never mentioned judges.
No, I love judges. The judges, you know my thoughts. Like, you know, I love judges. But judges sometimes, even today, I was like, so do you want the manager in, Judge, or do you want him out? And I put a comment up in the end and said
He's
like,
leaning towards that way now, though, isn't he?
he is starting to, but I think, you know, Judges 1 second he wants him in, wants him out. Kenny and him were shouting at each other at the weekend. It was funny as hell.
Yeah, I saw that.
See, I really like judges, yeah, but I can't
He's the
listen
best,
to him
mate.
for
He's
2
the
hours.
best.
No, on that podcast, and I've watched the last 2 or 3. Yeah, like after the Newcastle game, both games. Yeah, I've watched it. The game the other night, yeah, I've watched it. Yeah, against West Ham, right? And I'm like, Judge is ready to go, but I've seen him ready to go after Everton and say get rid of him. The next day, he went on Scotty Boy Groomer's channel, yeah, and said we'll keep him. Yeah, and it's like, bruv, come on, what are your? Oh, and I called him out on Twitter, and Dan, I know, like, listen, I don't know him like you do. I said, what's your actual opinion? Oh, I was, emotions are running high. Everyone's emotions are running high. Yeah, that's not a dig at judges. Listen, Dan, you know this. Kenny, you know this.
Yeah, no, I love him. Yeah, we all
it's
love
not
him.
a dig
Yeah.
at him. However, if your emotions are running high and you say one thing straight after the game, then 24 hours later you change your opinion, bruv, come on. Yeah, which one's the real opinion?
I think
Yeah.
he's just he is a bit of both. I think he is a bit of both at the moment. He's leaning towards I'm done. And then he's like, maybe we can give him another year with another more money. I think he's genuinely like
another year, bro.
You know what I think?
Oh, no, I don't agree with that, but I think that's where he's at.
I just think with a lot of fans right now, because we're sitting in February, they kind of want to see how this plays out. But I've already given you the plot. We're going to wither away. We're going to probably make top 4. We're probably going to make it, but it's going to be by the hair of you see how much hair I got on my head right here? That much hair right there. It's going to be that. It's going to be finite, very finite, very close. And after that, people are going to really start to question. And then it's going to go to this transfer window. And when June 1st hits, if we don't have a striker signed by June 1st of this year, then it will be all hell breaking loose.
The problem is, Matty, I agree with you, because whatever signings we do in the summer now, it's got to be early so they can have a good pre-season, so they can bed in with a team, they get to know the players, everything. It's got to be early. There's no good coming up with signings 2-3 weeks before the season kicks off. It's too late.
Maybe that ain't gonna work anyway because of the fact that we've got all these other teams looking for players this summer. They've got to get their just don't.
Yeah, I said it the other night. I said it the other night on Lee's emergency meeting. We're not going to be the only team bidding for these players that are coming up. If Isak goes up for sale, if Newcastle want him off and Isak goes up for sale, we ain't going to be the only team bidding for him.
No way. Liverpool,
Barca, Chelsea, Liverpool,
a lot of the fan base are going, oh yeah, we're good. He's saving his money. We're going to get Isak. We're going to get Gorkarez. We're going to get this one. We're going to get that one. We all know the striker
we're getting is Sesko. That's who we're getting.
But he's not proven though, Dan. Sesko's
another. I don't want him.
He's another habit.
What's Marino proven? What's Calafiore proven?
No, exactly. None of them are.
Give you a proven.
Is what I'm saying. None of them are.
I'm sick of that Calafiore, mate.
Fabio Vieira scored yesterday.
Well, he's coming back.
I'll tell you what I would do, and the fan base will go mad over this. I'd be willing for 1 season or a 2-season contract to try and get Harry Kane on a buyout clause.
Facts.
I'm not turning it down.
I'm telling you.
I'd have him tomorrow, mate.
If he leave Barcelona, Lewandowski, you play a year. I'll take Lewandowski.
He scored tonight.
Off
the bench. He was on the bench.
Harry Kane, 50 million buyout clause from I'll tell you what, I'm straight down there.
Isak, Gyökeres and Kane are the only 3 strikers I would absolutely take. I don't want Sesko and all these other guys.
No,
I don't want these guys, man. I don't like Nico Williams as much as I liked him at the Euros. What's he done since then?
He's shit.
What's
he scored 2 against Cole Hine at the weekend.
Dan's
Yeah,
100%.
7-1 win. 7-1 win, by the way.
Dan
Yeah,
is-
they're bottom of the league, 59 goals conceded. And he's been their best player. I'm not even lying.
Dan is 100%.
Cole Hines has
correct.
been their best player.
We are past with these project players. It's time to stop buying Europa League players. We've been out of the Europa League now for 2-3 years. It's time to move away from that. It's time to buy open box, ready to go players.
Yeah.
No more guessing. If they got, are they gonna come good for the future? They need to already come ready to go. That's what we need, ready to go. You know when you buy, all of us when we go to the store to buy hardware equipment, we like to buy machines that's ready to go. We don't have time to be trying to sit down and open up and read instructions. We need to, when you plug it in, it needs to be ready to go.
But it's got to fit his mold, though, isn't it? It's got to fit his character. It's got to fit the way he wants them, and it's got to fit the way he wants, personality.
Yeah. We did this on the show.
Ivan Toney, innit? Didn't want Ivan Toney.
We did this on the show the other week, yeah, right. And a gal was on the show. Yeah, it was the emergency meeting the other. I don't think it was the last show. Maybe it was. I don't know. I've done so many fucking shows and we're fucking shit every week, right? I like real talk. I genuinely don't know which one it was.
All mixed into one, mate. They blurred.
I think it was the Leicester game. I can't remember. Yeah, and he said, "No, but Arteta's not in charge of the transfers." Matty, you was on that show.
Oh, come on.
I think DJ, you was on that show at the time. Yeah. And I pulled up his direct quote. I have the final say on transfers. Final say on transfers. Direct quote. So we're holding to his own words out of his mouth. So you signed Sterling. You signed Calafiori, Zinchenko, Jesus, Marquinhos. Yeah. When Edu comes out and reveals the whole thing, and exposes, the whole thing. Yeah, bro, Edu's gonna do a mazza.
It's gonna be
because there's no reason why Edu left and why Vinay left, apart from the fact this guy is in control of everything. It makes sense.
And this sporting director situation gonna tell you a lot too. That's gonna tell you.
We're looking at this Campos guy from PSG. Get out of it, bruv. Last week it was the Sociedad guy. This week it's the PSG guy. No, bro. We ain't getting none of them. It's either Thomas Rosicky, Per Mertesacker, or Jason Ito.
It might even send somebody from Kansas City's team, Sporting Kansas, who know the Kroenkes. They're just
guys, I'll tell you who we're not getting. We're not going to be getting Mark Overmars.
I don't think that was going to work out, Kenny.
All the female staff will be fuming, Kenny.
Too much
Kenny, you kill me, man. You're such a ledge. Listen, people, we're going to come
as
to
long as they're not 4'9", Kenny, they'll be all right.
Hey, don't get me started. Look, it's a good thing you said that, right? She needs to up her game. The reason why she needs to up her game.
She needs to up her game.
No, seriously, on a serious level, she needs to up her game because two of her peers are trying to set world records.
Peers.
They're now in the club. While all she's doing is telling everyone she spent £500 on a ticket and she can't see. Up your game, love.
Take the yellow pages, Kenny. Like that's what we had to do back in the day. Innit? Get the yellow pages.
Yellow pages.
Yellow pages.
Yellow pages, bro.
What are we going to do? What's going to be the result tomorrow, Dan? You never told me your prediction.
I think we're going to lose 2-0, bruv. That's what I think.
2-1, 3-1, Forest.
4-1.
I don't think we're scoring, man. Stop being positive, Lee. Like, do you know what I mean? What's going on? You think we're going to score?
You're 4, mate. You're 4.
Chris Wood is going to get a brace.
What about the PSV? Are we getting through or not?
I beg we get through because this fan base needs a humbling, mate.
I said to Kenny earlier on the History Channel, on Jez's History Channel, I think PSV, they know exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah,
they're going to go for all out win in the first leg, 1-0, 2-0, and then they'll stick the place out at the Emirates and play a low block, and that'll be us gone.
You know, the fans are already welcoming Vinny and Mbappe to the Emirates, mate.
But it's a toss up between Carvajal and Ben White, lads.
Hey, they're going when they come to the Emirates, they're going to say, "Well, come on, when you come on back to the Bernabeu, Saliba, we're going to take you down here. We're going to show you where everything is. You see that right there? That's where you're going to make the right before you go onto the pitch." And then you see the trophies. They have the lights, the fireworks. Then that's where you'll walk. Mbappe will greet you. You shake his hand, take your kit. You to the right, hold it up.
This is Maria. She's the canteen girl. Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, this is where your locker room is. But you're going to sit next to Camavinga and Mbappe, yeah, and Chouameni.
You feel at home, so you
Yeah,
feel at home.
so you'll feel at home. So we'll put you with the Frenchies. Oh, by the way, we're going to get you an Uber, and we're going to take you 20 minutes up the road. You have your own. Yeah, you have your own apartment. Yeah, your own apartment at the training ground. So real talk. Yeah, you have your own apartment at the training ground, which is true. Yeah, their training ground's fucking crazy. Yeah, so this is yours. We've already put your name on it. Yeah, we're gonna give you number 6. Yeah, Militao. Yeah, he's always injured, but Rudiger's injured as well, in and out. But he's coming to the end. Asenzo's a baller. However, he could be a lockup. It's a Mazza. Graham Rick said.
Hey, Lee, they're gonna tell Megan Light. She can say, hey, we'll get you settled in with Indrick. We'll get you settled in. We'll get you
with Rodrigo. We're Vinny Jr. Militao.
What their reply will be, right? Is boys, their reply. Saliba will say, "Have you not got dog?"
Yeah. Well, where's the dog?
Hey, we've got trophy.
Can you imagine when they show him do the stadium tour?
So we got trophy.
Oh, where is the dog?
Papa Perez walks out, yeah. Papa Perez walks out, and
then in the January window, Saka walks in.
Yeah, you see this?
So bad, man.
Yeah.
And then Saka walks in the January window.
Kinsey, 15 champ.
Yeah, and we're going to end up with Rory Gillette.
Well, you got 15 big ears, Gary. If you got 15 Gary Linekers. So hold up. Arsenal have 13 league titles.
Hey, hold on.
You have 15 Champions Leagues. So hold up. Arsenal have 13 league. Oh, okay. So Real Madrid have nearly 3 times more league titles.
Dinner plates. We got the dinner plates.
But don't worry. When they do the unveiling, they'll show pictures of his time at Arsenal with Win the Dog. Yeah, with Win the Dog. All right, listen, his unveiling is going to have Win the Dog. Matty, that picture you showed me, I sent it to Lauren. I said, Lauren, I swear down, look how sad this dog looks. I said, the eyes never lie, you know. I don't care whether it's a male or a female, yeah. If you're a female and you look in your man's eyes, or you're a male, and you look in your female's eyes, the eyes don't lie, Chico. Yeah, they never lie. The dog's eyes, oh my days. Somebody please phone the RSPCA or Battersea Dogs Home. That dog is scarred for life, bruv. Why do we get so many injuries in training? They're tripping over the dog, bruv.
On that note, we're going to come to a close. Big up to everyone, man. This has been an unbelievable stream. We're still having it 34k, which is incredible. We're 15 away, 13 away. 13 away, people.
Wow.
Just hit subscribe. 13 of you. Just it. And then we get to 34, which is amazing. So thank you so much, man. Big up to everyone. Big up to you, DJ. Big up to you, Kenny. Big up to you, Lee. And big up to you, Matty.
Is there any fucker live that we like, Dan? Yeah, there's somebody live, surely.
Yeah, I've sent over to Cal because he asked first. He's doing he's doing something on his own channel. Cal Sanderson from Coppish. So I've sent to him, man. He's a legend, top bloke, and he's been on here.
Cal's sick. Yeah, Cal's good.
I love Cal. Yeah, he's such a good guy, man. So we're going to send over there. All 2,000 of you. Go and show him some love. Go send Dan Potts, Lee Gunner, Kenny, DJ, and Matt have sent me.
Now what you do, win the dog raid.
Win the dog raid. That's a really good one,
Win the dog raid.
Win the dog raid. Go over there. I'm going to go look at it now. He's going to be cracking up. Win the dog raid. Cal's a proper good one as well. He's proper funny about Arsenal.
Cal's sick.
He's class, man. So go show some love. I'll be back tomorrow with myself and Guns 1 p.m. So take care. We'll see you next time. And we're out of here. Latest people.
Speak to you guys soon. See you later.
See you later.